What's good? I think we're live. What's good, everyone? Oh, Jay here. Welcome back to the stream. Today we got a great show for you guys. Gonna be talking about a lot of news. Apparently, oh my gosh, the Switch 1 rumors. The Switch 1 rumors will not die. Like, the Nintendo's like, as soon as you think the Switch 1 is done, all of a sudden, or as soon as you think it's all about Switch 2, all of a sudden here comes Nintendo. But wait, there's more. Apparently, rumoredly, maybe. We're gonna get into all of that, plus so much more. Xenoblade Chronicles X having a revelation on the Nintendo Switch, which is definitely good. Hideki Kamiya saying, shut up to all these weirdos when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like weirdos' voices are being amplified over normal people who have no problem. I think there's also a little bit of deja vu with Hideki Kamiya, because just about 3 years ago, 2 years and some odd change, 2.5 years or so, people online tried to sync his own game, or at least Platinum Games title, with Bayonetta 3. So I think that there's some parallels there, and I think he feels a little bit sorry because he went through that as well, where there's some type of huge online smear campaign to take down your game, even though you've been working on it hard for like 4 or 5 years or whatever. People take 2 seconds to try to tear it down. So I think Hideki Kamiya was a little bit, he could relate to the situation with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we got a bunch of other gaming news to go over. Shout outs, all that good stuff. So let's first start off. Shout outs to Jeffrey Tucker, because he was first here. Jeffrey Tucker has been trying to be first, and he actually got here like a smidge before. Like a smidge before Dior. So shout outs to Jeffrey Tucker on that one. Also, Veracroft, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Elite Ninja Village. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right. Let's see here. Dior is here, of course, as well. They got here almost simultaneously. It was pretty close. The Great Wah. What's up, The Great Wah? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Bead Queen. What's up, Bead Queen? Welcome to the stream. How are you? Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. The Great Wah is here. What's up, The Great Wah? Redbeard and Sausage. Mr. David V. Yiggity Yak Diesel. What up, Yak? Glenmore Legister. What's up, Glenmore? Shout outs to Glenmore. He's always here as well. Minato Mario. Zach Davey over on Twitch. What up, Zach? Redbeard, it's hard to put down Xenoblade X. The online makes it even more incredible. Yes, the online's good in the game. Like, obviously, it's fun doing missions and all that. But I've found that the online makes the single player lag, I think. Like, I tested it, and maybe it was a memory leak or something, but it was definitely lagging a bit more with the online turned on. Now, maybe the internet or whatever, the connection I had, but I mean, the connection's good that I have. So, and I'm connected through Hardwire. So that's the only thing that I'd say. But yes, the online's very good. It's like passive online. You can hire people. You can do squads. You can get materials. Like, the online definitely makes the game better for sure. And it's pretty seamless overall too, you know? But it could make some of the big areas in the single, like when you're out and just like playing the game, it could make those areas lag. So that's the thing that I don't like. So I think for me, like, going online, hiring somebody, then like going offline, I think that might be like the best option for me. But yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going though. Yes, it's very addictive. I mean, I had to pull myself off from playing. I was like tired. My eyes were like all red, and I was playing till 2 a.m. I haven't played a game till 2 a.m. since Metaphor Refantasio. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the game, and I was pissed off because I was trying to get stuff done early today, but of course family and other things. I wasn't pissed off, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So I didn't really get a chance to play it outside of till 2 a.m. Like, I wanted to try to see if I can get some game time in, but I had to work out. I had to exercise. Your boys got to get in shape, man. My 6-pack is starting to come back, so I need to finish the fight like Halo 3, and I need to finish this 6-pack off. And I need to get in shape for summer because, you know, last summer I definitely was not taking off my shirt. So this summer, I want to change that. So I got to get in shape. So I decided to actually work out instead of playing Xenoblade, which it was a close decision, man. It was a really close decision between the two. But I decided to work out instead. So decisions. Let's see here. Ray B, what's up, Ray B? Welcome. What's up, Lavos? What is good? Shaw X, Slasher Boys. Cool, the cool guy. Eric Reed, when you say lag, do you mean frame drops? Frame drops, yeah, not rubber banding, frame drops. Frame drops within the, like when you're just playing the single player campaign, not when you're doing multiplayer, like in the multiplayer like areas. But it's so funny because like the multiplayer, it's even like, it's like non-online multiplayer. Like you don't have to go in with a squad of other people. You can just go in with a squad of AI and just fight. So, and then get the same materials, get the same, like, it's a game the way that a game is supposed to be made. Like, this is how online was. Online used to be, you know, you get a regular single player game, then you get a multiplayer game too. You get both.
I saw Side Scroller's response to Kamiya's thoughts about AC Shadows 2.
Yeah.
Funny that Yellow Flash guy first response was, he doesn't like their prime minister, and
What?
Craig said Kamiya should make games for the non-normal people, not the normal people, SMH.
I didn't know they even responded to that already in terms of what Kamiya said. But I mean, this is what it goes to show you what, you know, Stuttering Craig and what these people have pretty much, you know, dissented into. Stuttering Craig, let me tell you something about Stuttering Craig. You know, I've met him once. I interviewed him. You can go watch my interview. Just look up Player Essence, Furious Francis, Stuttering Craig, you know, GT Film Fest 2012. I interviewed him going on a decade and a half ago. I interviewed him. And the man that you see, Stuttering Craig, the guy that's actually responsible for many people in terms of creating content and how, like, inspiration, that person is dead. Like, he has turned into something that I don't even understand anymore. And it's sad because in the past, he would have been making great content on Assassin's Creed Shadows. He would have been talking about what's good, what's bad. He would have been going over it like a real gamer, like how he was. But not in today's day. Stuttering Craig has been reduced to a grifter and harboring grifters and grifter content, which is just, it completely dookies on his legacy of literally being one of the first content creators to make it big, like to actually make it big, you know, to make a company, to sell that company, to you know, be known worldwide for your vids as a content creator in the YouTube / online space with gaming. He was one of the first, one of the first. Top 10s, stuff like that. I mean, he was one of the innovators in that area. So to see him be like this I wouldn't say it breaks my heart, but I'm very disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. And, you know, I've said that to him. I don't think he cares, and I don't think he's even cares what I have to say, or I don't think he even remembers me, but it's sad that Stuttering Craig has been reduced to this. It really is. Like, everybody else, like Smash JT and other guys, it's like whatever. You know, a lot of those guys didn't have success before they started grifting. You know, like, big success before they started grifting. But Stuttering Craig was, like, big before he started grifting. Like, so, that is just, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to even talk about him because it's sad, you know? But hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Zach Davey, I'm trying to get an exercise bike so I can play games while doing cardio. Yeah. Yeah, that's one way. That's one way. Shout out to Minato Mario. Thank you for the $3, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Dawson, what's up, Dawson? Welcome. Craig also made fun of the Fighting Cowboy, a gaming YouTuber that 1 million subs blocked him despite blocking Grums. Also blocked people on Twitter. Yeah. I saw the whole. I didn't see the Side Scrollers podcast. I'm definitely not wasting my life watching that podcast. Podcast is boring as hell, dude. That podcast is boring, dude. It's just a bunch of weirdos sitting here grifting all day. I'm good. I ain't watching it. So I'm glad you can check it out. So at least we have something to talk about. But I'm definitely not wasting my time watching that podcast. But no, shout outs to him, though. You know, do what you got to do, I guess. Shout outs to Minato Mario, though. Thank you for the $3 dono. I appreciate that. Minato Mario. Anybody else $3 or more, you can put up my man Minato Mario on the board. Let's go. Thank you so much, Minato Mario. Appreciate you. And thank you for your long-term support, man. I know you've been here for a long time. So thank you. Thank you so much. Shout outs to Chris. Any early game tips for Xeno X without spoiling? Make sure that you equip your different stuff. So equipping is good. Make sure that you have the best gear equipped. Make sure that you level up your skills. If you press the Y button, if you go to your skills, you can level up your skills and your arts. Make sure that you're also equipping little gems or little upgrades to your weapons. If a weapon has a little blank slot, like a little circle, like in the description, you can equip the like a weapon mod to it. So make sure you do that. And make sure that you spend your Marianum or whatever it was, like that resource that you get when mining. Make sure you spend that because there is a limit, and your limit will just be, you'll be wasting it if you don't go spend that at the arms dealer in the Blade HQ or in the Blade HQ area. So there you go. Those are the tips. And do all the side quests. All right. Let's see. You're glad to hear you're working out, doing the same thing, eating clean from March 30 today, down 280 to 264. Nice. Let's go, John. Xeno X has been blowing my mind. Benedicted. Yes, it's very good. It's very, very, very good. I like it a lot. Very good. Level skills, good to know. Yes, sir. Yep, there you go. Adroxus, what's good? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Dank Meme Center X? What is good? Wilberforce. I don't know about Nate and PH Brazil. I've been wrong on the same thing. Only one is wrong on his own. Nate's been mainly right on most of the stuff that he's talked about. I mean, Nate's been seen as one of the most accurate. He got the date right of the Nintendo Switch reveal, which nobody else got that. So, I mean, if Nate's saying that he's heard it direct for this week, then, I mean, it's kind of like, not saying that it's fact or it's like 100%, but, I mean, if he's heard it, then also many other people have heard it. You know, you got 3 other sources on top of Nate saying that they've heard it, then, I mean, it seems like it could be possible. What up, Nate E? Welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing today? Make sure you guys hit that like button. We need to get the likes up fast today, okay, guys? We need to get the likes up as fast as possible today. So let's hit that like button. Let people know that we're streaming. We're only at 46 likes. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. Let's go. And I'll play a special song for you guys. One of my favorites. Anderson Blitz with the $1.99 says, you can't spell Assassin's Creed without 2 asses. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $1.99, Mr. Anderson Blitz. 7 Deal with the $4.99 says, evening, OJ, hit us with this Trails music, please. Direct hype is real. Yes, I will hit you with that Trails music. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. You are now the new Hokage Stream Ninja. 7 Deal, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you, Anderson Blitz with the $1.99. Remember, if you drop a dono, put your music request in the message. If you can't fit it, you can put it in the chat afterwards. So thank you so much to Anderson Blitz and 7 Deal with the donos coming through. Minato Mario as well. If you want a track, let me know. Trails through Daybreak music. Let's see what they got here for Trails through Daybreak. Oh yeah, I like this one here. This one's good. This one's good. 7 Deal with the $4.99. Anybody else $4.99? Where you been on 7 Deal? On the board. Been playing Avowed. I like it. Been playing Avowed. Yeah. Shout outs to Avowed. I know people like Avowed. It's cool. I just looked at it and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I decided to skip it because Xeno was coming, and I'm like, I mean, it's not a long RPG, though. I could have got into it. I was just like, nah. Once they showed that there was no real physical, I was like, nah, I'll pass. That's when I was like, that was like and I was like 70 as well. I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay 70 for it. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'm good on Avowed. But no, it looks cool, though. It looks cool. Definitely looks like a good game, for sure. And it got good reviews, so. 5, 6, 7. All right, we're at 10 on the board already, guys. We're getting close to that first 15-minute extension. Let's go. Just started Xenoblade 1 about 30 hours of Definitive Edition. Should I be doing all the side quests in that one too? I mean, yeah and no. A lot of the side quests suck in Xeno 1. Like a lot of the fetch quests, so you don't have to do all of them, but definitely the bigger side quests I would say do. But you kind of need levels in that game. Like, so the side quests get you extra experience and levels, so that's definitely a good thing. But they are kind of like, you don't got to do everything, like when it comes to like every single side quest, but definitely do a good chunk of the side quests in Xeno 1. Don't like just leave a bunch of them, because you do get a lot of experience. And like I said, the end of the game is like, it's not easy. Like the game is not, it's not a hard game, but then again, it's not easy. Like you can get cooked multiple times towards the end of the game. Like, I've actually had people DM me talk about how they can't beat it and they have to put it on casual mode because, like, the level spike and, like, the difficulty spike kind of jumps up a bit towards the end. So, yeah, I recommend doing the side quest because of the experience. I feel like a direct right now makes no sense with the Switch 2 showcase around the corner. I mean, if they wanted to show off Switch 1 games, it's backwards compatible, so, yeah, kind of like whatever. It makes no sense, but why not? I mean, if they got Switch 1 games to let us know, let us know about the Switch 1 games, then they'll probably be enhanced on Switch 2. Like we've seen with the data mine with Xenoblade, or with the hacking with Xenoblade Chronicles X, where there's a 60 frames per second hidden code in there, which will probably be unlocked when Switch 2 comes out. So if they've got Switch 1 games that they want to talk about right now for us, that's fine by me. We're still getting our Switch 2 content next week. So, hey, more the merrier, at least in this case for me. As a content creator, I love it. Because if we actually do get a Switch 1 Direct, all the stuff that I've been saying that we should have been getting will be announced. So then I can stream it, and of course, people will show up and all that good stuff. And then we also get next week as well. So, as a content creator, I'm like, bring it on, you know? I love that Switch is a home. Switch is the home of all things Xenoblade. I have all of them. Never gonna sell them. Yep. What's up, Vag? Welcome. What's up, Muck Bro? Shoutouts. What's up, Yum Yum? Yeah. Can I, if I plan to visit the new Nintendo store, can I get a shirt autograph? If I'm there while you're there, sure. Just give us all the games. Just give us all the games, baby. Just the partner indie direct. That's the most likely we're planning to showcase contractual obligations. I don't know if it's a partner or indie direct. I don't know what it is. Nate didn't say that it's a partner or anything like that, and nobody else said that it's that. So I don't know. I actually don't know what it is. Based off of, like I said, based off of what Nate said this. They all said Nintendo Direct. Excuse me. They all said, I've heard that there is a Nintendo presentation this week. I believe it is on/around Thursday, and it will be a direct, but I'm not 100% certain on the format at present. So he's not sure what it's actually going to be. So we'll see what it is. So yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about that too. What's good, players? Are you excited for backwards compatibility? I mean, yeah, but not like super excited. I have a Switch 1, so backwards compatibility is definitely a good thing, just in case you can carry over all your library. But that doesn't get me like super excited. But it's nice. It's a nice feature to have. I'm more excited for the Switch 2 games. But yeah, definitely backwards compatibility is good. So like, let's say they do like a patch or update, backwards compatibility makes things much easier. So it's definitely a good thing. Like, I like it. It's definitely like a needed situation, but I'm not like super excited for it. Like, that's not what you get excited for with the new system. You get excited for like the new games that are coming out, not necessarily saying, oh, well, I can play my old games that I can already play on my system that I already have. Like, that's not as exciting as more like, okay, what new games and what new experiences are we going to have? But it's still nice though. I don't know, it feels like weird to have a presentation in 2 separate weeks time frame, unless it's an indie themed. Otherwise, the game shown will get overshadowed next week. I don't think it's about being overshadowed, Dank, because they're probably going to be backwards compatible. So that's the thing. They're probably going to be backwards compatible. So if there's a game that hasn't came out at this point, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's so late into the life of the Nintendo Switch 1. None of the games that are coming out, or if they do show big games, none of those games are going to have any type of massive impact or, oh my gosh, like, they have to sell a bazillion copies. Nintendo's already moving on to the Switch 2. So I don't really think it matters at this point. Whatever they show, they show. Like, whatever they show next week, they show. Like, so if they get overshadowed, then they do. If they don't, then they don't. Like, it doesn't, I don't think it really even matters. Like, at this point, at least to me, it doesn't. Whatever sells. There's still a huge audience of casual base that plays Switch 1, and they probably won't even be getting a Switch 2. So if Zelda, Twilight Princess, or Wind Waker comes out, is that really going to get overshadowed? Not really, you know? So if they announce Zelda, Twilight Princess, or Zelda, Wind Waker, or Metroid Prime 2, or Metroid Prime 3, are those really going to be overshadowed when Nintendo launches them later? Probably not. They're going to come out and people are going to be excited for them. And if there's enhancements for Switch 2, then people are going to be excited for that. So like I said, if this was, I don't know, if it was in a, like, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, then maybe. But now 8 years into it, I don't think anything that Nintendo's releasing right now I don't think it matters if it gets overshadowed or not. Like, clearly they're moving on to Switch 2. So that's just my opinion, at least. I don't think it really matters. Like, it's so late into the game, you know? They got to showcase games for the OG Switch for people who don't transition immediately. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's still going to be a Switch 1 market. Like, I know a lot of people are saying, everything's Switch 2. Hey, we got to move up. We got to move everything. I know that's like the thought process, but that's not the thought process for any actual business. Like, if you're transitioning from one platform to another, you probably, if that current platform is selling and doing well enough, if you have a sustainable business or a good business on that platform where there's active users, to just dump in and say, I don't care, like, we're just moving on to the next thing, that's probably a bad idea. That's something Nintendo's usually done, but they've never had the actual active, like, high active user count when the next system comes out. Usually by the time that the next system is coming out, the current system that they have is dead. Like, the Wii U, almost like everything, even like the Super Nintendo, a lot of their systems before the next system comes out, the active user base is really low. With the Switch, that's not the case. There's like 100 million users. There are still people that are playing the Switch every single day. There's still people that are buying games. So the transition needs to be gradual, not, who cares? You know, like, just cut off everything and say Switch 2 only. That's the hardcore gamers that want Switch 2 are going to go out there, rush out and buy Switch 2. A lot of other people are not. So you guys have to keep that in mind. And I know you guys are used to Nintendo just dumping, for the most part, dumping the previous system and forgetting about it beforehand. But I don't think that's going to be the case with Switch 1 to Switch 2. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think that they're still going to go guns blazing for Switch 2. All of us that are the hardcore that are buying it day one, we're still going to get all that. Like, just because Switch 1 game, it's backwards compatible. So just because Switch 1 games are coming, that doesn't say that you can play those same games on Switch 2. So it doesn't really do anything for the Switch 2 crowd. If you're into Switch 2 and you want to play Switch 2, those games will be available for you to play. If they have updates, that's even a better thing, you know, when it comes down to it. So I don't really think this necessarily is a problem. Me personally, I don't really think this is a problem. Just like it wasn't a problem that Sony had presentations and did things before PS5 came out. Big games came out before PS5. Everyone was still hyped to play PS5. PS5 still did, well, there was the chip shortage, but PS5 still did incredible. Even though Sony was still actively promoting PlayStation 4 games, releasing PlayStation 4 games, it didn't really matter, did it? No, it didn't. So that's the problem. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're not applying what logically has worked for any business that has had a good business in terms, like, Sony's always been good with having a high player count heading into the next generation. With the PS1 to PS2, PS2 to PS3, PS3 to PS4, PS4 to PS5. And they've always still promoted and still released and still talked about the previous gen, even as the current gen or their new gen is happening. And that's never been a problem. But once again, it's very, Nintendo does not do that. So a lot of people are like, what? Why? But Sony does that all the time. Like, that's literally a standard practice. Even at E3, Sony would have PS2 segments while their PS3 was even struggling, you know? So they would still be talking about PS2 or have PS2 games. Like, I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying. But I don't think it matters when the system is backwards compatible. The people that are hyped and excited for Switch 2, you're going to get your guns blazing Switch 2. Switch, it's backwards compatible. So it doesn't matter. Now, if it wasn't backwards compatible, then I can understand. Because, wait a minute, you're hyping up games that you can't even play on this new system? That doesn't make sense. You know, that's a problem, right? You need to be focusing on that. But all these games that are going to be announced, you can play them on your Switch too. And like I said, there's probably going to be patches. There's probably going to be updates for them. So what does it matter? You know, like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't really matter. But like I said, there are going to be a large number of people who don't transition right away, who don't have the money or just don't feel like it. So there's definitely got to be content for them as well. But Switch 2 people get all of the same content as well, maybe even better. So to me, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. It's no big deal. Once again, especially if Nintendo leans into backwards compatibility, then it's like, okay, then who cares? They're releasing games and there might be patches. Those games could run better. Oh, well, you know? So that's kind of how I see it, at least. Put more paper in the money printer, build the second printer while you're at it. I mean, yeah, sometimes some people wait till the printer's empty to refill the printer. Some people, you know, refill the printer before it gets empty, you know? How about a quarter of the way there? It just depends. Oh man, what would be the one more thing at the end of this direct? I mean, it could be a variety of things. It can be a Fire Emblem 4 remake. It could be a Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. It can be Metroid Prime, you know, 2 and 3. I mean, it can be quite a number of things. Really, it can be anything. But once again, we don't know if it's a regular standard direct. It could be a you know, indie world. It could be a partner showcase. It could be something else. It might not be the standard direct, but with the typical one more thing that we could guess from, you know. Apparently, once again, it's a rumor, but which direct are you talking about? The Switch 2 direct or the rumored direct? Let's see here. What's up, Donovan? Says, we should know this, right? Well, what should we know, Donovan? Shoutouts. Welcome to the stream, brother. Play the song Dreamer from Streets of Rage 2. All right, I got you. Dreamer, Streets of Rage 2. Sorry that I missed your comment before, Anderson. Dreamer. If I can spell. Dreamer, Streets of Rage 2. Thank you for the support, brother. I appreciate you. I hope the console comes out in May. There's been some rumors. I think it's May or June. I would bank on June, but it definitely could be. It could be May, but I'm banking on June, but we'll see. I think a regular Direct Mini, not partner, could make sense. Last time they had one was March 2020. Yeah, that could also make sense. Is it Tusk? Tusk-Obe? I don't know how to say your name, but Tusk. I'm just going to call you Tusk. Is that old school Fire Emblem? And that, who's that avatar that you have? Shout out to Tusk. Appreciate you. But yeah, I think that's definitely possible. Let's see here. Backwards compatibility will make Switch 1 games go up like crazy in value. Yeah, it's also going to be dependent on like a lot, like Nintendo reprinting cartridges or not. Like if the cartridges start getting sparse, then we can definitely see those values go up when it comes down to it. Yeah. Tusk-Obe. Okay, Tusk-Obe. Yes, I knew it was Fire Emblem. Yeah, from Thracia. Yeah, Genealogy of Holy War. That could get a remake soon. But shout outs to Tusk. Appreciate you being. I'm just gonna call you Tusk. Shout outs to Tusk. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Come out in June. I'm going on a cruise out in the country in May. Oh my gosh, out of the country. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I made sure to block off everything that I'm doing from like April to like June. I'm not doing nothing, man. I'm not planning anything major. I mean, I might do some small things here and there, but no large trips, no nothing, because I got to cover. I got to cover Switch 2 launch. But yeah, you don't got to worry about it, Alonzo. Go have fun. Go relax, man. I know I need to take a good vacation this summer. Like this summer, I need to take an actual like vacation of like at least like a week maybe. But that's going to be tough because Nintendo decides to release a Switch 2 in the summer. So that's going to be tough to actually take a real vacation. But maybe I'll take like a mini vacation, like maybe like 4 or 5 days. But yeah, it'll be tough to even get that. Let's say, what's up, Egomaniac? I'd love to get Switch 2 from the jump, but I may not have money for it. Plus, there's still some games I want to buy. Even Lunar's on my radar. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Not everyone's going to be out there buying the Switch 2 day one. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to launch and people are going to be excited and hyped. And there's going to be tons of sales. But everybody just doesn't buy stuff right away. Like, obviously, most sales are long-term, right? A year, 2, 3, 4 years after a system. So, you know, not everyone's going to get it right then and there. Do we know what time the Switch 2 Direct is? We do know what time it is. It's at 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So we do know what time it is. It is early. Let's see here. I almost had to do a work trip next week, but I managed to postpone it. Ain't no way I'm missing Switch 2. This man postponed. Hopefully the business don't go down. This man postponed the whole thing. Said we gotta do this, man. We gotta do this. What's your plan for secure pre-order? I'm just gonna try to secure the pre-order, go on the website and try to see where it's pre-order available, and then wait. That's what we always do. For those who don't know, if this is your first time in the pre-order game, what you do is you wait. You follow Wario64 on Twitter, or you follow Jake Randall on YouTube, and essentially they'll be going live, I'll be going live, and we all sit and try to wait till we can get it. You know, that's what you do. You just sit on the website, and then you click on the little product page, and then you click pre-order. And then depending on what site you're on, some sites remove the item from your cart before you've even got a chance to buy it. And then you go back and try to do it again, and then it removes it. You go back, try to do it again, it removes it. You go back, try to do it again, it removes it. But then other sites like Best Buy puts you into a queue, then checks to see if you're a bot or not. And then slowly filters people to pick it up and buy it as you wait in the queue. So it just depends. Max Power with the subscription. Thank you so much, Max Power. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscription. Yeah, Best Buy is usually the spot to go for pre-orders. I've got a lot of my systems at Best Buy. My Switch 1 I pre-ordered no problem at Best Buy. My PS5 I pre-ordered at Best Buy. It wasn't no problem, but it was fairly easy. Target I pre-ordered. Target was stupid, but I was able to get another PS5 at Target. Xbox Series, I think that was also at Best Buy or Target. I don't remember where I bought my Xbox Series from, but it was one of those two. Probably Best Buy. My Switch OLED was at Best Buy. All my special edition Switches, probably Best Buy. It's been fairly easy for Best Buy, so that's usually the better spot that I would say. So yeah, shout outs. I do think it's a good time for an Indie Direct. Yeah, Indie Direct might be good. Best Buy is the go-to solid choice, yeah. Hey, Xenoblade X is so good, man. I can't stop playing it. Yeah, I know, it's really good, the back house. I really, really like it. I was playing it till 2 a.m. this morning. And I was like, man, I was so tired, but I was like, I kept on trying to play it. I was like, oh, man, this game's really good. I was like, yo, this game's really, 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 really good. So yeah, I was playing it, man, and it's just a dope game. It's just super fun. One of my favorite things about the game is just how, like, massive the world feels. You know, it feels like a really massive open world, great, like, experience. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, man. Really, really enjoying it. Let's see here. Do you think Switch 2 pre-orders are right after Direct? I mean, probably. That's what they did last time, Randy. So I'm guessing it's going to be similar to this time. Yeah, that Gamers Club. Yeah, that's ancient history. I feel lucky my local store will call me and ask if I want to pre-order. Nice, Nate. Yeah, you know, Canadian stores, they'll do stuff like that. Very polite. Not here. I got my Zelda Switch, I think from... Where did I get my Zelda Switch from? I got it from... Was it from GameStop or was it from Best Buy? I think I got it from Best Buy. I pre-ordered it at GameStop and Best Buy, but I ended up canceling my GameStop pre-order because my Best Buy pre-order came through. So, yeah, most of the stuff I get at Best Buy. Let's see here. Yeah, Gamers Club was really good, man. It was really... I used Gamers Club all the time. That was a no-brainer, but they got rid of that, so... what they were trying to do, they were trying to get people to come into the store, foot traffic, and then hopefully you buy other things, right? You don't just buy your game and go. You know, you buy, I don't know, like a washer and dryer. You buy like some CDs or whatever, or like a tablet or whatever, right? Or you're going to buy a computer or a laptop or something, right? But that did not happen. Gamers just walked in, grabbed their game and left, or paid for their game, had it shipped to their house, and that was that. So yeah, I bought all sorts of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch games. Like, I bought all sorts of stuff back then, but it's all good, you know. Nothing great lasts forever. Let's see here. It's overwhelming, but I'm up for the challenge. Definitely harder than Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What difficulty did you play Xenoblade 3 on? The hard difficulty. Oh no, hold up. I don't think you're talking about difficulty in terms of play. I think you're just talking about the amount of stuff to do. Okay, yeah. Xenoblade X has a lot, man. Xenoblade 3 has a lot, but Xenoblade X has a lot. I've worked on. It worked on me. I bought a buttload of Switch games. Yeah, a lot of us did, man. Yeah, hit that like button though, guys. If we're not up to the, we need to get more likes in this piece. So hit the like button if you have not hit that like button. I think we're at almost 100 likes. Yeah, we're at 90, so let's get to 100. Thank you guys so much for your support so far. You guys have been incredible. If you have questions, feel free to tag me at PlayerEssence or just hashtag PlayerEssence, and I'll be answering your questions. But yeah, any other thoughts on the Switch 2? Let me know, or sorry, rumored Switch 1 Direct. Once again, Nate the Hate, you know, he's talked about it. What we could see at that Direct, so, you know, here's the things, like, if it's an indie Direct, obviously, then disregard this. If it's a partner Direct, then disregard this. But I think that we could see, you know, the Fire Emblem 4 remake, which has been rumored for forever now. We could see the Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3. We could see Wind Waker, HD, Twilight Princess. These are all things that are possible for a presentation if it's that. Now, once again, it might be an indie world. It might be a partner showcase. We don't know. But these are all games that have been rumored that apparently are done or close to being done or something, and Nintendo just has held on to them. So we'll see with that. We'll see with it. Any guesses on the retail price? Is going to be for what? The Switch 2? $399 probably. I always play on hard. Xenoblade Chronicles X is just massive. Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff to do. Do you think that Metroid Prime 4 being in this direct would affect its chances on being Switch 2 direct? No, because if it's in the Switch 2 direct, then that means they'd be showing off the Switch 2 version of the game. So I don't really think it's going to affect it. They'll essentially show us what they feel is ready to be shown. So if it's in the Switch 1 direct, that means the Switch 2 version, or there is no noticeable upgrade for Switch 2. If it's not in this one and in the Switch 2 direct, then okay, then it's there. Or it could be in both. They want to show us this and let us know about the release date, and then they'll give us more information there. So I don't really think it affects it. They've already made up their mind, and whatever they decide to do, it was already pre-designed. It didn't have whether it was going to be in one direct or not, you know, one direct or the other. So I just unlocked Overdrive 32 hours in. I'll get my setup with the Duelist class. Let me pretty much solo Tyrant enemies. Nice, let's go. Let's see here. Would they want Switch 2 Direct to only be exclusives and no cross-gen if they're doing this? You know, we just don't know, man. Like, the thing is that this is a uncharted territory for Nintendo overall. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is maybe like the DS, when they went from DS to 3DS. But we don't know. Nintendo might want to do cross-gen stuff. They might not. I mean, we just don't know what their plan is going to be, you know, overall. They did state that they want, you know, they're going to continue to support the, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 1, as long as there's an audience. So something tells me that they'll probably still release games on Switch 1 and Switch 2, you know? But they'll probably spend most of the time focusing on the Switch 2. I think it's probably going to be mainly about Switch 2. There probably isn't going to be a ton of Switch 1 stuff there, you know? Overdrive is a certain type of thing that you can activate that allows you to chain multiple skills and attacks for heightened damage and boosting. You can do it in your scale, you can do it out. So it's like it's a thing that happens in the game. So yeah, just keep playing. Don't worry, you'll get to it. Would you be happy if Nintendo has achievements finally on Switch 2? So you think they will or not? I don't really care about achievements. They're kind of useless. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles X has achievements built into it. You can get achievements and a little thing pops up and that's that. Like, there's really no point, you know, outside of, I don't know, showing people some fake score that you have. They don't really do anything. So I think, you know, I've been playing games for a long time, and I was into the achievement system when it first came out because it was unique and it was fun, you know, it was different. It was something new, like back in the Xbox 360, but it's literally been the same thing now for 20 years. There's been no evolution. Sony got their achievement system in 2008, I think, so about 2 years after. And there's been no evolution of the achievement system. There's been nothing. It's just a thing that pops up and then the little point score, a little trophy. It doesn't really do anything. So until there's actually anything noticeable with the achievements, I don't really care for them, just because I was been there, done that, and it doesn't really matter. I play the game because I think the game is fun. If they have some type of built-in achievement system or thing that I feel like doing, I'll do it. If not, I don't really care. So yeah, I don't care. There's achievements in Astral Chain as well. I mean, there's achievements in most Nintendo games. The only difference, once again, is that it's not tied to a profile and your account with a set, rugged structure. Switch games have random achievement systems. They all pretty much have one. They just have their own ones built in, you know? But the difference is that one of them is tied to, like, your profile and people can see it. That's the only major difference. And there's, like, a set, it has to be this amount, or it needs to be this amount, and there needs to be 1,000 points for this, or there needs to be this many trophies for bronze, silver. Like, that's the only difference, is that it's one of them is structured and tied to your profile, the other one is just random per game and not tied to your profile, right? So functionally wise, they're the same thing. You do something in a game, a little thing pops up, and that's that, right? Like, so it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care how many achievement points I have. I don't care how many trophies I've unlocked. Nobody cares how many trophies I've unlocked or what I've done either. So I stopped caring about it. Probably, I think for me, I think I stopped caring about achievements or trophies after I got the Vanquish 100%, and I was like one of the first in the world to get that on the Xbox 360. I got all the achievement points in Vanquish, and that was really hard. Like the what's it called? Like the challenge mode. That mode was insane. I actually recorded it. It was one of my first recordings that I did on my old channel, Player Essence Gaming, and it was worthless. Like, I got all the points and then nothing happened. Like, nothing. I mean, I felt a little bit of a sense of accomplishment, but I got dehydrated. I played the game for 15 hours straight a day. I think I missed a couple of my workout sessions that I had for, like, my job, because I was a trainer at the time. My job, like, I told them that I can't do it because I'm I made up an excuse like to reschedule, but it was really because I was playing the game. So there was really no point. So I ended up just saying, this is like, I'm an adult, I'm old now, like this is a waste of time. Like I think that's what made me just say, this is stupid, I don't really need to do this anymore. So it was nice while it lasted in terms of when I cared, but I no longer care. So I think it lasted for me from about 2005 to 2011 when I cared. Yeah, so about a good 6 years I was like achievement hunting and stuff, but yeah, no more. Yo, what's up, Huddy? Welcome to the stream. But what about the maidenless trophy hunters, OJ? What about them? Hey, what's up, Clab? He says, hey, account-wide achievements seem the crusty incomplete because I didn't stomp 2,000 Goombas. No issue with in-game achievements. And I think it's more of a selfish reason why, you know, for me at least, because I'm with you, Clabby. I hate seeing incompletes on my profile. So if somebody looks at my profile and there's a bunch of incompletes and a bunch of missing, it just looks so bad, you know, like it just looks so bad. I don't like the way that it looks on the profile. So yeah, there's also that too. I agree with that. So often I just like I just stopped caring. So yeah. What's up, 777? Welcome to the stream. 777 LG double OG. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Dressback, welcome. What is good? What is good? Yeah, I don't understand achievements. Do they give you anything discounts? Yeah, they give you nothing. You get nothing for doing them outside of like bragging rights. High key, sometimes I choose to play a game on Nintendo because I don't want to worry about achievements blotting my profile with low percentage stuff that I know. It's like glass half empty or half full. I think that's what achievements are. Is it half full or is it like how you feel about them? Is the cup half full or is it half empty? The half empty people definitely don't want that on their profile. The half full people are like, oh, it's no big deal, you know, like. Shout outs to JCat with the shooting tier for 54 months. Thank you so much, JCat. I appreciate that. Let's go. Also, big love to Be Good. Thank you for the subscription. Max Power as well. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. So it is what it is. I see what Tusk is saying for real though. Let's see. Switch to will be OLED, HD, or 4K. Those are all different types of technologies, Sis. So I'm not sure what you're asking. So OLED is a type of screen. HD is a resolution. So of course, yes, it'll be HD. Nintendo's been doing HD since the Wii U. That was HD. So of course it's going to be HD. So OLED is a type of technology within the screen. That's not HD or not. And 4K, that's up to a resolution. So I'm not sure what you're asking, but will there be an OLED? Not based off the rumors. Will it be HD? Yes, it will be HD. Will it be up to 4K? Based off of some rumors, yes, it can support up to 4K, but that doesn't mean all the games are going to run at 4K. There's going to also be DLSS 4K, which gives you the image clarity of 4K, but not necessarily actually being 4K. But I doubt there's going to be a lot of that either, to be honest. That's going to be too much of a stress on the system. So yeah, will it support up to 4K? Sure, probably. Will most games be 4K? Probably not, no. Let's see here. Super Christian Miros, what's up, OJ? About the achievement system, I would have cared more about it if it came with some incentives like gold coins or PSN or Xbox Store discount purchases. Yes, I agree. If the achievements or even avatar items, like the Xbox 360 did, if you unlock certain achievements, like in Red Dead Redemption 1, you got avatar items, like you got like a shirt or you got like a cowboy hat or something. So if they did it to where you can unlock customizations or unlock certain things or even backgrounds or wallpapers, then I think that's cool. Now the problem with that is that Xbox allows you to put pretty much any achievement as the wallpaper, or pretty much almost all wallpapers for Xbox. PlayStation, you can't customize it that way. No, actually you can put like certain pictures, but you can't do like dynamic, like there's some stuff that you can't do with PlayStation. So if Nintendo was able to like tie it to something actually worthwhile, but then again, if they start tying it to stuff that's like hard to get, like it's that would also be difficult too. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. I think just in-game achievements are fine and just leave it that way and just do a theme shop and do dynamic themes and release those on there like the 3DS did. I think that'd probably be the best bet, is to just do it like the 3DS did, you know? Have your theme shop on there if you want to. You have like basic colors like red, blue, green, whatever, blah, blah, blah. If you want to buy new themes, you can buy new themes, dynamic themes and stuff like that. Maybe there'll be some that are special. If you buy the game, you get this theme with it, you know? So yeah, there could be that too. Yeah, there's no way in hell they're going to start giving away merch and t-shirts and stuff like that for achievements, because then more people are just going to try to do them and then cheat, of course. So yeah, I never see that even ever being a thing. But I mean, if it's like digital stuff, then maybe, you know. Red, yellow, blue, green. Red, yellow, blue, green. Oh, thanks for the clarity, OG. I'm hoping for 4K docked and OLED handheld. That's not happening, sis. Like, do you want the thing to be $700? It is not going to be 4K docked. You're not going to get games at 4K docked, or they'll run at 1 frame per second. We don't even get PS5 and Xbox Series games at 4K. Okay? I'm not sure what. The Steam Deck costs $550 or $600. That don't run nothing near 4K docked. So I don't know what you're expecting, but I don't know why you would expect a Nintendo to have 4K docked games. That's insane. Like I said, PS5 doesn't even, the large majority of PS5 games don't run at 4K. At least the big games don't run at 4K. Like smaller indie games and stuff, yeah. OLED handheld, I can see why maybe you want that because there was an OLED before, but no, not with this one. It's going to be probably like the newer LCDs. Sis with the $1 says, thanks for always being a real ninja. Big ups, OJ, 100%. Hey, no problem, brother. I try to do my best to let you guys know and to give you guys realistic expectations. So yeah, don't expect 4K dock like for games. No way. Like almost like I said, unless you want them to run at like 1 frame per second. Yes, 4K puts a huge strain on your system. Like if you have even like a high-end PC, even if you have like a 40 series or even like a 50 series, some games even at 4K, it'll buckle that PC, man. I know my 30 series, which is definitely going to be stronger than probably the Switch 2 that I have in my PC with a lot of RAM and all that. Even that can't run games at 4K, like big AAA games at 4K. Like I can run games at 4K in like 20 frames per second. I can run it like at 20 frames per second or something like that for a lot of big games. Smaller games, yeah, I can run it. But even then, there might be some hitches in even some indie games, you know? So yeah, don't expect that, man. Shout outs though. Thank you for the $1.99 though. I appreciate you, brother. Next 2D Mario is gonna be at 4K docked for sure. I mean, maybe the current 2D Mario games are at 1080p native. I think pretty much locked. Maybe there's some dynamic, but it's pretty much at 1080p. So I mean, it's possible like the next Mario Wonder, the next 2D Mario game runs at 4K. Yeah, like a 2D game, sure. Like Metroid Dread, yeah, you probably run that at near 4K or DLSS 4K. You know, like that. But I mean, don't expect like the next big Xeno game or the next big Mario, you know, Odyssey or Mario 3D Mario game or whatever. Don't expect those to be all at 4K dock. Like that's probably not going to be a thing. And there's no need to do that. What's the point of using the resources to run it at 4K? Like you can run it at 1440p. You can run it at 1080p, and it'll probably still look incredible. You know, so yeah, there's really no point. You need to do an interview with Jake Steinberg, the Red Yellow. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, someday. You know what? I should do an interview with him someday. I really should do an interview with him. I think that would be funny. What's up, Just Another Artist? Welcome. So yeah, man. So I just do not like that new GX logo, man. What's up, RJ? The new GX logo. What's the GX logo? Oh, is that Game Explain? Shoutouts to Game Explain. They hate me too. I should call it He Hate Me. Game Explain changed. F-Zero GX. Gex. So basically we should expect the same performance as hooking up to M Classic on the Switch. No, M Classic isn't actually anything real, so you shouldn't expect anything. Like, M Classic should not be brought up, because that's not real performance or anything really updated or anything. That's, I wouldn't say it's a scam, but it's not anything that actually does anything. Like, those M cables and all that. So, no, don't expect that. Because that's not actually real. What's the difference in 4K imaging games running in 4K textures? 4K with any game is possible. Just matters where you're going to sacrifice to run that resolution. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to sacrifice all that to run a game at 4K. There's no point. M Classic is all. It's definitely a little bit of a placebo. Yeah, it's not really. There's no real benefit to using the M cable or the M whatever that thing is. I have one too. It's just not. Nah, there's nothing. It doesn't do anything. Let's see here. Mr. Davis. Hey, what's up, Mr. Davis? Welcome to the stream. Like my video today? Thank you. I appreciate that. GVG are chill. I like him. GVG's cool. I met oh gosh. Bowling. Steven. I met him. I think I said his name wrong. But anyway, I met him one time when I went to go check out gosh, what game did I check out? Splatoon 3. Yeah, Splatoon 3. When I went to go check out Splatoon 3 last year, that was pretty fun. Yeah, Steve. Hey, what's up, Daniel Carney? Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. I have the M Classic. Xenoblade Chronicles X looks worse with it on. There you go. There you go. Here, let me tell you another reason why. The M cable, it's weird because in order for it to actually look a little bit better, you have to mess around with your system. If a game natively runs at a certain resolution, you have to set your TV and set the Switch to run at that native resolution, not the upscaling or not the resolution that it says that it's running at. So if your TV is running at, let's just say 4K, obviously your game does not run at 4K on the Switch. You have to set your TV to run at the native resolution of what the game's running at. So if you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles, it's a dynamic resolution. It runs anywhere between about a little bit under 720p to 1080p. So you have to set your TV to 720p. Then you have to set your Switch to 720p. And then you use the M cable. And then maybe you can get a little bit of a sharper image. But that's too much work. And it's silly. And it's not even like that's verified in terms of even what I'm saying. That's just what some people have said you have to do. Now, I did test it out a little bit. And I thought maybe I saw a bit of a difference with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, because that was looking incredibly crusty on my TV. But even then, I just ripped it out. I just said, nah, I'm good. I just took it out and I just said, I'm done, you know. So yeah. That's too, yeah, it's too much. That's too much, man. It's too much. But I'm doing good, Daniel. How are you, man? How are you? What does Bernardo Mario said? I didn't see what he said. Let's see here. I don't know how to say it. The Gurnaut? The Argonauts. It says F-Zero GX was a great game. It was a great game. It was a great game. It was so good. It was so good. Such a great game. Hit that like button though, guys. We are at 129 likes. Let's see if we can get those likes all the way up to 175. We need 175 on the likes, baby. Let's go. We need 175 on the likes. Let's get it. Also, let's move on to the next topic here. Obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles X, the sales. I discussed it a couple different times. We're starting to get some sales charting and stuff trickling in. This is gonna be interesting. I talked about this on my video today. This is gonna be interesting because the original Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's never been re-released. You guys all know that. Well, if you didn't know, well, now you know. It was going to be released. It was released, and the Wii U was in a bad shape when it came out. It came out in like December or something like that of 2015. It came out like November, December. It was a late 2015 game. Probably should have been 2016 to be honest, because it launched like with a few different issues here and there, but it was not bad. It was good when it came out. But either way, right? It comes out and pretty much everyone's already like, Nintendo's moved on, right? Nintendo's moved on. They're moving on to the next system. And on top of that, the Wii U just flopped and failed, and flopped and flailed and flopped like a fish, like a Magikarp, right? So since the Wii U flopped, the max potential of pretty much every single game on the Wii U was never realized. We know this because obviously Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Mario Kart 8. We know this because of New Super Mario Bros. We know this because of even like Splatoon, even though it wasn't Splatoon 1, but Splatoon 2 and how well that game did in Splatoon 3. We know this because of various different games, right? What else? All the ports that we've gotten, they've all pretty much done better on the Switch than on the Wii U. Anything that's came out. And Super Mario 3D World, for example. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game does. The original game, I don't know, it might have crossed 1 million. Nintendo's never officially announced the sales numbers. and it's not in the top 10. So if you go on the sales numbers, Nintendo, if you go on Nintendo IR, you can see exactly like what the threshold is in terms of the number for a game to see how well like it's sold, right? And the threshold for Wii U is 2.27 million units, and that was Mario Party 10. That's the 10th game on the list. Also, just going over the Wii U's top seller list is pathetic. They didn't have a single game that sold over 10 million units in terms of first party game, or really, actually no, any game, because yeah, it includes third party games too if you make the list. But anyway, the Wii U didn't have a single game over 10 million. Actually, kind of somewhat not even close. Mario Kart 8 was the only game that crossed 6 million units. Mario Kart 8 did 8.46, but outside of that, it's all 5 million units and down, which is bad. Every single one of these games, Super Mario 3D World sold way better on Switch. New Super Mario Bros. U sold significantly better. That's actually in the top 10 on Switch, I think, or it's been in the top 10. Super Smash Brothers obviously sold, it's best-selling fighting game of all time on Switch. Nintendo Land, that was bundled with the system, so like whatever. Splatoon actually did decent considering a new IP at 4.95 million. Mario Maker, that did better on the Switch as well. Super Luigi U, obviously that was bundled with New Super Mario Bros. Or yeah, with New Super Mario Bros. On the Switch, so whatever. Wind Waker hasn't came out. Mario Party, obviously Mario Party's been way bigger on the Nintendo Switch. So Xenoblade's not on this list, and Nintendo never actually talked about the sales numbers. So it's looking like it's probably around 1 million if you go off of VG Chart's estimates, but we don't even know. Nintendo never talked about it, so I think that it does hit 1 million. I do think that it's definitely hit 1 million, and I think that we could see significantly higher day one sales than we saw with what the Wii U was. The Wii U, it did get some good like day one, like from what I could gather, the the Famitsu sales, or it was Media Create back then, I think it sold almost 100,000 units, not including digital. It was #1 on the eShop, so it did decent at launch. I know it sold hundreds of thousands of copies, and it ultimately ended up selling more, but unfortunately, because of the death of the Wii U and because of the impending Switch, essentially there was not as many discs printed, and it's not really, you can't find that game a lot. Like, there are physical copies that you can buy for a decent price, but they're going to start getting scarce. So if you haven't purchased Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii U yet, you might want to look into getting a special edition or getting a regular copy while it's somewhat affordable. If you ever wanted to have the gamepad, right? There is a unique usage of the Wii U version of Xenoblade. It has the gamepad features, which is a little bit of a different experience than what you get on the Switch, which could be valuable in the future. So if you have it, hold on to it. If you want to get it, or if you like the Wii U, then you might want to look into getting Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U. There's also no way to buy it digitally. Obviously, you can hack your system and do it that way, but if you want an official copy, then yeah, there's the official copy. Yeah, so it looks like it's doing a lot better. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that it actually does really good. So yeah. What's up, OJ? I'm literally at work, ducked off in the corner playing Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. The game is awesome and addictive. Okay, Double M, I don't recommend doing that. I recommend don't do that unless you're just joking around. But yes, go to work, and then when you come back home, you can play. You know, when you come back home, you can play, but don't do that at work. Shout outs to Double M though. My brother, what do you think about Chrono Trigger? Do you think, if we're gonna have something new with the Switch 2? It's possible. I've made 2 videos in the last week or so talking about what could be happening with Chrono Trigger based off of the different things that have happened. So check out those vids if you haven't seen them on the channel. I'm gonna link both of them, but I go over all the information in terms of that. But yes, it's very possible. But yeah, definitely watch my vids on that if you want to know more when it comes like to the 30th anniversary and kind of what we've been and what information's out there. But that's the link that I put up. That's the most recent one where I went over the sales numbers of the 5 million sales. So check that video out. And then I think it was last week. Was it last week with Chrono Trigger, or was it 2 weeks ago? March 11th. So yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I made another video talk about how there could be some news with Chrono Trigger as well. So check out that video when you get the chance as well. Here, there's both links. So is it H-Trust? So watch those vids, and I go over. Watch the most recent one though. That goes over all the information, like with the sales numbers and what Square Enix has said and everything in general. But yes, it's definitely possible that we see Chrono Trigger Switch 2, Nintendo Switch presentation, Square Enix HD 2D remake. A lot of these HD 2D games are announced at Nintendo Direct, so definitely possible. Ooh, maybe Nintendo and Square Enix announce Chrono Trigger for Switch 1 HD 2D remake at this at an upcoming or partner showcase or at that. What if they did that? that would win the whole showcase. That would win the world. That would win everything. If they did that, it'd be like, wow. Wow. Chrono Trigger. I wouldn't need to see any other game. Like, legit. Actually, I don't need to see anything. The show could be trash. I'd be like, all right, it was trash. Move on. Moving on. Switch 2's coming up. But that would be crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, HD 2D, A-Trust, that's probably what it'd be. But like I said, man, if you want to talk, like, we already discussed that at length. We've already talked about it so much at this point. I'd be repeating myself from what I've already said. So yeah, when you get the opportunity, check out those vids. I kind of went over like what would be the best option, HD 2D, what would be going on there. So we already discussed it so much on the channel as well. So yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts in terms of what I would think about it, you can just watch that later. But yeah, HD 2D remake could be the most possible option for that. So you know, that's what I think it could be, at least. That's what I think. But we'll see. I don't know if it'll be a full 3D remake. In this economy, don't get fired. I mean, a lot of people are hiring, but yeah, you definitely don't want to get fired. I will. Thanks, bro. Greetings from Mexico. Hey, shout outs to Villa Mexico. Hey, shout outs, man. Appreciate you, a truce. And yeah, man. If you have any other questions, feel free, drop the questions in the chat. We're open questions here, so if you want to drop some questions, that's fine. But yeah, I talk about it more there. There's not really much else I can go over. But yeah, because I don't remember everything that I said in those videos. But yeah, 2D. HD 2D remake, I think that would be good. So I have a if they have a direct this week, I can maybe see them talk about price drop for the OG Switch. Nintendo doesn't talk about price drops at directs. That's not something that they discuss. They don't do that. I don't recall them ever doing that outside of, I think maybe there was the 3DS when that was a price drop, or was that when they announced that was sometime else. So I don't think they'd have price drops at a directs. That just doesn't seem like something they would do. But there's a first time for everything. But yeah, I don't know about that, Chrono Rig. If they did a price drop, it's just that they would just announce it later. It'd make a press release, and like they would do it like with the game that was coming out and say, here's the new price. But I don't know if they will, just because of the economy and because of how expensive things are to manufacture and produce. I don't know if they're going to do any price drops right now. I think that's definitely possible, but I'm not sure if they're going to do it right now. But we'll see. They can't talk about price drops because they rarely ever do that. I mean, we have to like when the Wii U was phased, when the Wii U the 8GB model was phased out and the 32GB model was like put as the new standard price for $299. I don't know if they announced that at a direct or anything like that. I think it was just kind of a thing that they did. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I wouldn't bank on it. A $10 price drop makes no sense. Most companies wouldn't drop the if you're going to drop the price of a system, it needs to be something that's significant or impactful, because that 10 doesn't even cover tax in a lot of places. Actually, in a lot of places, the tax is more than that. So that doesn't really cover anything. So if you're going to do a price drop, usually for marketing purposes, as I used to work in marketing, it needs to be substantial enough to actually move the needle. So usually you're looking at increments of $20, $20 to $25 or $50, depending on. That's usually how price drop increments go. So $20 or $50 or more, depending on how desperate you are. But it's usually like $10 or like $7 or like $5. That's not something they use, or like $15. Those are obtuse numbers that don't make sense within the grand scheme of things. So if something is $299, right, dropping it by $10 and making it $289, that doesn't make sense, right? Or like if it's $250 or $249, making it, or if it's $349, making it $339, that also doesn't make sense. So yeah, I doubt that it would be that. It would probably be like $50, right? Or it'd be like $25, or it'd be something like that, or $20. But I doubt that it would be like a $10 price drop. So if we do see one, it'd probably be $50. That's what I would guess. It'd be 50. So the new price of the Switch OLED would be $299. The new price of the Switch V2 would be $250. The new price of the Switch Lite would be $150. That's what I would guess if they were gonna do something. OJ, if the Switch 1 direct rumor is true, which I strongly believe it's not, it'll be a great birthday present on Wednesday. Yeah, Nate the Hate just came out and stated that the direct is, he's heard about a direct as well. So it's probably true, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got 4 sources now saying that they've heard something for like a direct. So we'll see. Maybe a $2.89 price point. Yeah, I doubt that. They wouldn't do that. Jason, what's up, Jason? Welcome to the stream. Xenosaga trilogy would be awesome. I'd love to have a Xenosaga trilogy, but it doesn't seem like they're gonna do a Xenosaga trilogy. At least not right now. Maybe they will though. Maybe they will, but they said that it was not profitable. They said that they talked about it. Bandai Namco talked about it and said they were brainstorming it, and essentially the Tekken guy Hadara said that when they were brainstorming it, they found out that it's not a profitable entity. Now that was before Xenoblade has blown up in popularity, so I mean they could feel differently now. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. It would be 2-for-1 special. Fire Emblem Holy War gets announced. Yeah, it would be awesome. Just got home from about to play Xenoblade Chronicles X while I eat some Costco rotisserie chicken. Ooh, Costco rotisserie chicken sounds really good. Sounds really good. I had some chicken today. I had some chicken salad, and I had a protein smoothie after my workout. It was good. I had some chicken this morning as well with some little bit of beef, some rice. It was good. Good stuff, and vegetables. So yeah, man. Protein day for me, like always. Yeah, Xenoblade, the Xenosaga would be great. I have all the Xenosaga games, but it would be great to get them on a modern platform. What's up, Upper Nimbus? Just a joke about Nintendo taking a few dollars off the game sales. Hardly ever budge for full price. Well, we're not talking about game sales. We're talking about game. We're talking about the game system. So I didn't understand your joke because we're not talking about game sales. We're talking about what's it called? The system itself. Historically, with systems, Nintendo's been pretty good with. No, not pretty good. They've been okay with price drops. Okay with systems, but with games, yeah, not so much. That's why I didn't understand your joke because we were talking about systems, not games. This is not a joke. Nintendo just added Forgotten Land Peak to Nintendo Music. All right, congratulations. Hey, look, I got Forgotten Land 2. Check this out. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I got the whole OST right here. Y'all want to hear it? Ad free too, by the way. So we got. There we go. There's the Kirby and the Forgotten Land music. There's the OST. I didn't have to wait for Nintendo to add it to Nintendo Music, but I've got the whole OST here. You guys want to see? Actually, no, I can't because my my reaction for some reason is messed up. But anyway, yeah, trust me, it's there. Trust me, it's there. We can listen to it in honor of Nintendo adding Kirby and the Forgotten Land to the Nintendo Music app. We're gonna listen to it right here on YouTube, the whole thing. So yeah, it's all good. The OST that I have here is not only 23 tracks. The OST that I have here is 96 tracks. So I don't know if Nintendo's cutting y'all short because the OST that I got here is 90 something tracks. Just 23. That's why my app is better than their app. Because I've got way more tracks. I've got the Nintendo Music app though, even though it's kind of hard to see. I got it. I don't know why people get so crazy about the Nintendo Music app. Like, I'm done with it. Who cares? What the hell? All the music's on YouTube. You can listen to it whenever you want. It's just a nice little side thing that's kind of cool to have as like a little extra little thing. But I mean, like, I don't care. It's fine. It's fine the way that it is. Whatever they add, they add. I'm not stressed about Nintendo Music app. Well, some people do care, but it's not something nobody pays for it unless nobody's buying Nintendo online to get the Nintendo Music app. Just whenever they add to it, they add to it. That's fine. Whenever they don't, if they don't want to, then that's fine. Don't use it. Like, but it ain't. People, I see some people going nuts online. And I'm like, yo, weird. All the music's on YouTube. You want to listen to the music? It's right there on YouTube. You don't pay for the Nintendo Music app. It's a side little thing. So just don't use it. Move on. Listen to the music on YouTube. Whatever. I don't care. Oh my gosh. I got all the music right here, you know? Sorry if this has already been covered, but what exactly did the Melee TOs do to hacks? I'm somewhat aware of what's going on, but I've seen people talking about this ban. I had no idea the dude was banned. I thought he was just he just made a new controller. If you already covered it or don't want to talk about it, no worries. Yeah, I can talk about it briefly. I would highly recommend you watch the video that Technicals put out. That kind of goes over everything, the back and forth. So watch the video that Technicals put out. Just look up his name. It's Technicals on YouTube, Technicals on Twitter. He's everywhere. But just watch like Leffen and Hacks video, Technicals, and it'll pop up. That'll give you the full backstory. But essentially, you know, Hacks put out some crazy videos a little bit. And the Melee community banned him. But the reason why he was banned was silly to me, because he was banned over, you know, harassment and stuff like that. But other people like Leffen as well have also done harassment, and they were not banned at all. He was never given a track to be unbanned in terms of all tournaments. He was never given a path to be unbanned. And they put like a lifetime ban on him. And I think that the lifetime ban was a bit excessive. And he begged for forgiveness. He tried to beg to come back and so that he'd be a good, you know, he wouldn't do anything wrong. And the Melee community the Melee TOs just said no. But it wasn't because he didn't deserve to come back. It was because they had some ulterior motive to not make Leffen upset. And for certain people that didn't like Hacks. Not that he deserved to be banned for lifetime. He didn't do anything that deserved to be banned for lifetime. There's people that have done much worse. That are not banned lifetime in the Melee community. So I think that was the main issue there. That's it. You know, I don't really feel like talking about it because it's dealing with end life right now, guys. So maybe I'll talk about it maybe after Technicals makes a video, or if he does make a video, or maybe I won't talk about it at all. But that's essentially what's going on there. I mean, I think the community, you know, has learned nothing from Etika, the Melee community, and I think a lot of them are actually happy of what happened to Hacks. You know, they obviously don't care about him. So there's a lack of top players even commenting on that post today, right? That tells you everything that you need to know about how the Melee community cared or did not care about Hacks and his well-being and him even being alive over a video game. Like, but you know, the Melee community's stupid. They've always been dumb. That's why they're broke. That's why they're top players like Cody, you know, IBDW or whatever his name is. That's why he's always moving sponsors. That's why he's like one of the best players ever in the history of Melee, and he can't even keep a sponsor because the community's broke, and they always wonder why they're broke, and how they handle the hack situation is exactly the reason why the Melee community's broke, why they have no money, and their top players aren't sponsored, and nobody makes any money in that community. Nobody makes any money. There's no money in the Melee community anymore. All the sponsors have pretty much dipped, with very few. They have to resort to crypto sponsors and scam sponsors like crypto with Hungrybox. And the Melee community doesn't understand this, but that's how they treated Hacks is the reason why they're broke. Is the reason why. That thought process, that weird thought process, is exactly the reason why that they're still broke and their best players have no sponsors. You know, Cody I think he called Hacks clinically insane not too long ago, and then he had the nerve to actually put hearts on his profile of him potentially passing away. Wow. What a guy, right? What a guy. What a guy. What a great people are in the Melee community, right? What great people are in the Melee community. Somebody, by the way, who they were friends with him, calling him clinically insane online, diagnosing him, and all these different things, instead of trying to help him get reinstated and say, hey, look, maybe we should have some grace. If he is clinically insane or if he is having problems, that's not a time to sit there and say that about him online like that. But you wouldn't know that by the Melee community. You wouldn't know that by the Melee community. You know what I'm saying? They are the most ridiculous. And I got called out by them. And I know I'm talking about it more than I said I would. But I got called out by, who was it? It's the Marth guy. I forgot what his name is. He's one of the best players in the world as well. Zane. That's his name. Zane. I got called out by Zane. You know, and I found it hilarious. I found it hilarious that he would say, you can't tell me by looking at that this guy doesn't need help and all that. I'm like, see, this is the problem with you guys, Zane. You're like 20 or whatever, how old he is, bro. You're not a psychologist. You're not this, you're not that. You guys think that you know more than everyone. And this is the reason why your community is the way that it is, brother. This is the reason why all your sponsors, Golden Guardians, all these community, these orgs, Fox, all these communities that invested in your community are no longer there. Because you guys have this smug attitude. This smug, no good for nothing attitude where you think that you know more and better than everybody else. And that's the reason why your community's broke. That's the reason why your top players outside of Hungrybox, Mango, Who else? Armada's no longer playing. Leffen's no longer playing. That's why your top players right now are all broke. And they all gotta put money together to try to get things done. Because y'all are too arrogant and too stupid for your own good. But it's fine. And he had all his Melee friends bashing me and stuff. I said, okay. Okay, but let's see what happens. I'm not the one. I'm not the one who's out here with the struggling community that can't get their top players signed. I'm not the one. I don't got to deal with that. You guys are the ones. You guys are the smart ones who haven't been able to secure funding for decades now. You know, for long-term funding. Y'all have been broke and struggling for how long now? But hey, you guys know the most. You guys know best, right? What a stupid community. What a dumb community. I don't want to turn Hacks potentially passing away. It looks like he's on his last legs. I don't want to turn it into a rant against the community, but I kind of have to. They're intertwined. So it is what it is. All right, moving on. Yeah, it's like the free Melee, Hacks ban, Destruction, Panda Global. I don't know why you still have YouTubers that take competitive Melee. Nobody takes competitive Melee seriously. What big YouTubers take competitive Melee seriously? Nobody takes it seriously. Nobody takes competitive Melee seriously. After the Panda Global thing, nobody takes them seriously. You had a dedicated sponsor. You had millions of dollars with Panda Global. The Melee community caused the utter destruction of multiple people's lives over one person that they didn't like with the Panda Global boss guy, that guy. Over one person, and over Grimmer and VGBC lying about different things, which was proven, by the way, that they lied and they were disingenuous with many different things. Over the one thing with that, and they completely destroyed and sunk a whole company, an org that had an official partnership with Nintendo with not Nintendo donating, but with sponsors, now that Nintendo was backing them, officially lined up with millions of dollars of prize money and payouts, and they completely, utterly destroyed it over not liking one person in Panda Global. It's insane. All the players that had jobs there, I think Cody was also sponsored by them too. They had to quit because the community, you know, they rallied and they literally took the pitchforks online and brought down a whole org with hundreds of employees, or at least 50, 60 plus employees. Brought them all down because of one person that ended up being a lie. This is the community that I'm talking about. This is why they're terrible. The tournament organizers and a lot of the people in Melee, a lot of the top players are terrible people. Are legitimately terrible people. Terrible. Just because they play Melee and just because they're not out here shooting people or something like that doesn't mean they're not bad people. These are not good people. These Melee organizers are not good people. They are very, very tribalistic and very, very weird. Like very, very weird people. And whatever, right? So it is what it is. I ranted on that. I'm sorry. Zazubar, I ranted on that, guys. I'm so sorry for the rant, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see, that's where he called me out on, Joey M. When Zane had his response to EE trying to say free hacks, I quoted that, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? This is the opportunity to sit here and say, like, hey, look, we should be more forgiving. We should, look, he's obviously got some issues, but let's all work through them. He should come back. We should put him on a plan. But instead, he ran like a bitch. Like, that is what, and excuse my French, guys, but that's what I'm talking about. If you truly cared about your community, if I cared about this, let me give you guys something right now. I don't mean to put Jeffrey Tucker, you know, on the spotlight here, but Jeffrey Tucker had something where he got mad at me or whatever the case is, and maybe I was thinking he's probably going through some stress or whatever it was, and I've done this to many other people too. I probably shouldn't have said his name, but Jeffrey's cool with it. And I realized that, yo, man, he's probably going through some stuff. Because, like, he's been here for a long time. It's not like it's a random dude that came here. But he's been here for a long time. Hacks has been in the community. Instead of sitting down and saying, hey, let's put this man on a plan. Let's say, hey, look, let's hit these goals, and maybe in 2 years, you're going to be unbanned. Or in a year and a half, you're going to be unbanned. That's what I didn't ban Jeffrey, but I just said, hey, man, what's going on? And I talked to him, and I knew that there was probably something else. And he said, my bad, dude. It's all good. When you truly care about your community, you don't do that to them, even if they did something messed up. And people were saying, he was saying all sorts of crazy things about me, right? But I knew there was something else because he'd been here. Same thing with Hacks. Hacks has been in the community for for decades. for like a decade plus since he was a kid, since he was like 13 or 14 years old. He's been in the community for forever. When somebody is struggling, man, you don't just cast them out like that when they've been in the community. Once again, if it's a random that's never been there and trying to clout chase, okay. But someone who's been in the community, that's been a staple, man, that just goes to show you that they never cared. They never cared about him. You know? Because who would do that to some part of your own community? Who would do that to someone like that? I know I wouldn't. Especially if I saw that someone said, yo, if someone said, yo, OJ, man, you have me banned and I'm going to, you know, hurt myself. If I'm, you know, and if they've been here, right? If, let's just say if it was an elite ninja and y'all been here and something, y'all had a problem with me and you guys said some bad stuff. If you reached out to me behind the scenes and said, yo, OJ, I'm going through some stuff. I know that, you know, based on whatever, can I be unbanned? I'd be like, yeah, man, like you've been here. You've been a part of the community. You know, man, I appreciate you for everything that you've done. And I'd let them back. I've done that to many people here. That's what happens when you actually care about your community. But when you're like the Melee TOs who don't give a damn about anything, they didn't care about him, about him. They just banned him and like said, screw it. And they couldn't come to an agreement of when he would be unbanned, so they just left him banned. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Trash community. Completely garbage, trash community, terrible people. That's not what any decent human being would not do that, in my opinion. Hax didn't kill anybody. He didn't abuse anybody. He didn't hurt anybody physically. He didn't, you know, talk to underage women or underage boys. He didn't do any of that. You know, to get a permanent ban? That's insane. To get rebanned for simply just saying, man, I wish I could go to even talking about it. They banned him from even talking about it? That's just crazy, bro. Yeah, he pretty much had his entire life stripped away from him. You know, I don't know how I would act if I could never be able to talk about games and never be able to, you know, to communicate with the gamers and like my community. How would I feel? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would go that far, but I'd probably just be like, all right, well, it's over. You know, let me move on to the next thing. I've had my job and my identity ripped from me before, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the same thing because there ain't never been anything that I've been a part of for that long and that involved with like in person. This is all through the internet that I do. I do have some relationships that I formed in person with like certain people that I, you know, too many games, but it's not something that I've done for decades. Like it's always been an internet thing, you know? So it's very different from someone who's been going to tournaments and who's been, you know, playing a competitive, you know, game for their whole, like for like more than like half their life, you know? So it's whatever. Let's see here. I can't do competitive Smash. I held toxic competitive. I go online. Remember, I got 8 points when we played Mario Kart 8 Dogs a few weeks ago. I was rage quitting. Oh yeah, man, you got bodied there. Hey, no problem, Zazobar. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming out to the stream. What's up, Mega Lee? So context: this guy got kicked out of the Melee community for life cheating once and attempted to unalive himself. He got kicked out of the Melee community because he said he made a lot of really bad videos making bad comparisons with a top player named Leffen. He made a string of those videos and he was very defiant with that. They banned him and he served about 1.5 years of a ban, and then his local scene unbanned him, and then he was able to go to locals and he was able to do that, but then the greater Melee scene did not unban him, so he couldn't go to bigger tournaments, and they didn't give him any timetable, and people were kept on saying different things. So he made a video talking about it because he wanted to go to the big house. So he made a video talking about it, and then his local community, and then of course the greater Melee community said, oh, now you're permanently banned. But they never gave him a timetable to be unbanned. They never gave him a timetable to be unbanned, and it was really just his local community. He stayed banned for like, I think even after the local community banned him or unbanned him, he stayed banned for like another 1 year or 2. He was banned, you know, so it was going on 3 years for like a full ban. Like he was going on 3 years for like a nationwide ban, right? And with no possible, you know, solution overall. So that was the problem. But yeah, that's the main reason. But there's politics behind it though. He was also banned because of the person that he was talking about. Leffen is one of the best Melee players of all time. And Leffen has a lot of pull. Leffen's a little whiny, pissy little brat, to be honest. Like, Leffen he's a douchebag. I mean, listen, I don't think he's evil or anything like that, but Leffen is a douchebag. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We all know Leffen's a douchebag. Leffen has shown time and time again that he's a douchebag. Like I said, I don't think he's evil or anything like that, but he's a douchebag. He's an a-hole. Leffen knows that. We all know that about Leffen. He's been one. Maybe he's a little bit better now that he's turned 30. He's 30 years old, but he's a douche, you know? And Leffen was crying and whining and complaining and making sure Hack stayed banned behind the scenes, you know? Hack's apologized. Leffen would be like, he hasn't even apologized. Hack's apologized to him. So you also have this whiny little brat, little toothpick-armed weirdo Leffen that, you know, that couldn't accept an apology, that made it seem as if his life was in danger around Hacks. No, it wasn't, you know. So yeah, there's also that too. After what Leffen did to Zero, yeah, he has fallen since, especially after Technical's video about him. I mean, Leffen still has his users that he has, but he doesn't play Melee anymore. I think he'll probably come back one of these days, but, you know, whatever. You know, like I said, I don't think Leffen's like the worst person in the world or anything like that. I don't think he's that, man. Like I said, I don't know. If I met him, we probably might get along. I don't know. But we've had a few interactions. Leffen's a very, he plays victim a lot. Like, Leffen will play victim all the time. We had an interaction. Let me give you the depth of when Leffen plays victim. I had a post a number of years ago where it was a joke, and it wasn't just Leffen. There was all sorts of Smash Melee content creators that were making money off of Smash Ultimate, but also hating Smash Ultimate. But they were making money. They were making a lot of money off of Smash Ultimate, like, you know, talking about it and all that. So, you know, I put up a simple, because I watched the videos from all them, and I don't hate them. I thought it was cool. I was watching their videos. So I put up a tweet, like, with Scrooge McDuck, like, you know, pulling money to himself and saying, like, this is Smash Melee players talking about Ultimate, but also, like, hating Ultimate. It was, like, some type of, you know, weird, just, like, joke tweet. And Leffen runs to my tweet while he was streaming, or I think after or before, I don't know when, it says, you're hating on me, blah, 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 you're a hater. And I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, nobody, I didn't even mention your name. And I'm like, I'm not hating on you, dude. I made a little tweet. It was a joke. Relax. I'm like, I support you. Like, back then, I was like, I support you. I sub to his channel. You know, I watch your vids. What are you talking about? And Leffen played victim the whole time. When I said, dude, no, it's cool. And I'm like, and I just said, well, then, screw you then, bro. And then he blocked me. He blocked me later down the line, but I think he probably muted me after that. But that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about with this guy. You know, he played victim. Dude, I didn't even mention his name. I did not even mention his name. There was a lot of Smash Melee content creators that were making content on Smash Ultimate and doing very well. It wasn't just him. There was a lot of people. And I made a little joke. It is not worth. And he's like, oh, well, people are coming to my stream and telling me about the tweet. Bro, so what? Can you not have a little bit of fun with yourself? Like, just have a little bit of fun. Have a little, he is like Mr. Never Laughed at Anything. He's so damn serious. For someone who plays a party game, a party fighting game that was built for children at times, he is so damn serious with himself. It's a little joke. It's not anything serious, bro. I wasn't hating on him. But even if I was, it's like, who cares? Like, it's no problem. Like, have a little bit of fun. And he goes into this diatribe. Oh, well, if thanks to Nintendo, we would have way more money, but Nintendo hasn't. And I'm like, oh, brother, get a load of this guy. Like, get a load of this guy. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, oh, Nintendo's fault that you guys are a moronic community. Yeah, that's the reason why. That's the problem. Because Nintendo's smart. They don't want to support you losers, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. Hey OJ, do you think Gen Zers play Chrono Trigger for the first time they would like it? Probably not. Gen Z? Probably not. Yeah, I know. That's literally him. Wow, why are you hating on me, LJ? That was pretty much him. Yo, Yannick. Oh, also shout outs to Chaka Pacheco. Thank you for the 57 months. And also shout outs to Chris Gamer ST. Thank you for the 46 months. Thank you guys for supporting the channel for so long. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go. We are 3 combos away from the first 15-minute extension on stream. So if you guys want to go past that 2-hour mark, we're coming up on that. let's get the 15 combos plus. Let's go. Shout out to Yannick once again. So yeah, it's stupid, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Competitive Smash is more sweaty than Planet Fitness. Oh man, I deserve the world. Yeah, I read what you talked about there. Yeah, Monado already said that no YouTubers actually take Melee seriously anymore. Like after the whole free Melee thing, I mean, listen, we had like another thing with that where they had problems like with the guidelines of Nintendo changing the guidelines for tournaments, and like people covered it, but nobody cared at that point, you know. So I got caught playing Xenoblade on the clock. I'm suspended for 7 days. Stop the cap, Double M. You did not get caught playing Xenoblade. They would not suspend you for 7 days for that. For playing on the clock? Suspend you for 7 days? That didn't happen. Stop lying. How are Assassin's Creed Shadows sales looking in comparison to Xenoblade? Well, we have no idea. Assassin's Creed was #1 in the UK. Xenoblade was #2, but there was no actual number. So you can't really compare it right now. Like, we have no idea. You know, we know that there's 2 million players plus for Assassin's Creed Shadows, but we don't know the sales yet, the overall sales, and we don't know the player number for Xenoblade either. So, yeah. Let's see here. What's worse, Smash competitive or Pokemon competitive? Smash competitive is worse than Pokemon competitive. Pokemon competitive can be pretty bad, but the Smash competitive community is quite possibly the worst community that I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst, for sure. Sorry, but man, looking at it boggles my mind. There's so many people that free Melee as smoking gun for Nintendo to bow down to Melee community as a company as a whole. Yeah, that didn't last though. Like everything that Melee does. Let's see. Just considering that Ubisoft uses the players metric rather than sales. I mean, players and sales. It's like. It's based on what you're going for, right? Like, if you have Ubisoft Plus, how do you add them in? Do you add the people that are paying for Ubisoft Plus for the Ubisoft, you know, the sales numbers? It's like, kind of, they pay to play it. But then also, at the same time, you have sales numbers that are rolling in. So, I don't know. Maybe it's easier just to add those all together because the people that are playing it are also paying for it. Now, if you hack the game or whatever the case is, that doesn't mean you got to do it, but it also includes content creators and stuff, people that have played the game. So it does give them a little bit of a boost depending on how many content creators covered the game. Although that's never a significant amount of sales numbers. Like if they give the game to 10,000 people, that's not really much in terms of sales or anything. So most people bought the game. Obviously, most people bought the game. Most people aren't subscribed to Ubisoft Plus. Most people are. If a lot of people were subscribed to Ubisoft Plus, Ubisoft wouldn't be in financial problem right now. So that they don't have any significant amount of people subscribed to that service. It's not that great anyway. So most people bought the game. So I think they're just kind of doing it that way, you know. Also, it's hard to track the content creators that were obviously given the code, plus the ones that actually bought it themselves. When it comes, like, it's just sometimes a little bit easier to do players. I think eventually they will do sales though. I think they might say, hey, look, we've sold through this many, we have this many players eventually. But right now it's tough to do sales right now, you know. All things considered, because the game just came out. I most literally forgot about free Melee, Nintendo Direct, Sephiroth Smash, maybe. So yeah, it is what it is though. Maybe I'll show you guys that once I fix my reaction. I don't know why my reaction is doing that, but once I fix my reaction, maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Is it because I don't have? I have like maybe. Okay, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. The best way to look at it: does the stock go up or down after launch? The issue AC Shadows was always going to have is budget. Well, I don't know the budget of AC Shadows. Shadows is under pressure, not only to make its own money back, but offsetting the losses like Avatar, Star Wars, and Skull Bones. I agree. That is something I do agree with. I think that there is a lot of pressure to offset some of the losses with those games. I can't believe the only one who prefers watching traditional fighting games over Smash. Most people rather watch traditional fighting games over Smash. Like, Smash does not do the best in terms of viewership. I mean, it did at one point. There were times when Smash would have as high as viewership or higher viewership than a lot of other traditional fighting games, but that's usually only around the time like a new Smash game launches, or like certain times with like Melee, you know. So that's really what it's what it's there. Like most of the time, like Street Fighter and stuff like that, that's going to be, you know, what people play or what people watch. Smash can be also kind of weird to watch. I mean, depending on who's playing and what characters are on there, it can be incredibly boring or not fun at all, you know? This is all metaphor. I don't want to listen to all metaphor soundtrack. We gotta... So, depending on that, it can be kind of weird. But I think that, like, Melee can be pretty fun to watch, like, in a great setting. Like, the Evo Melees from back in the day, like, when they had all the gods there, like Mango and Armada and Hungry Box and Mewtwo King and PPMD, like... Or like the Salty Sweet in 2015. Oh my gosh. The Salty Sweet in 2015 was one of the greatest events of all time. You gotta watch that, man, because it was grudge matches. It was guys that don't like each other. It involved Leffen. Leffen 10 years ago now at this point. Versus Chillin' Dude, where Chillin' Dude made a rap song dissing Leffen. Because Leffen said that Liquid is... They're not signing good players. So when there was real beef and there was real actual, like... sauce, that was when Melee was great, man. That was when it was awesome to watch. But these new TOs and these new players, man, they're a bunch of wimps, a bunch of chumps, a bunch of weirdos. But back in the day, man, it was great. It was great. It was so good. Yeah, Apex 2015 with Melee, that was peak. That was peak. I loved Apex 2015, was so good. Salty Sweet was so good. Apex 2015 was great because PPMD had been gone for a while. He comes back and wins the whole thing. Oh my gosh. That was just, if you want to watch some actual real Melee, some real good competitive, not this stuff that they put out today, but if you want, I sound like an old fart now. I sound like an old head. But yeah, man, if you want to watch like some lit Melee, like where it's actually really good, the commentators are good, the atmosphere is good, go watch Apex 2015. Go watch the Salty Sweet. That's good. That's some good stuff, man. Leffen 5-0 Chillin' Dude. Chillin' Dude had no chance, man. Leffen was just toying with him. So that was awesome. Yeah, personalities definitely make a big difference. I think at the time, that was when the Smash documentary dropped. You had a lot of people like, you know, for me, I was into Melee a bit before that, but I never really watched it like that because I was still going to college and doing other things at that point and just trying to just do whatever. But when the Smash documentary dropped in like 2015 or whatever, or 2016, whenever it dropped, oh my, or whatever that Smash Melee, I watched it in 2015 or whatever. And then I caught up on everything. Oh my goodness, bro. That was when it was at its... I think Melee peaked in like the mid 2010s. That's when it peaked. Like with the Smash doc, everyone got back into it. There wasn't all these weird bannings. There wasn't all these... Like there was egos and all that, but it wasn't what it was not at this point, man. I mean, you had like, you know, ICs weren't banned. People could do wobble. Like wobbling sucks if you're playing. But for those who don't know what wobbling is, like in Smash Melee, you know, the ice climbers, Nana and Popo, you can do like a little trick like with grabbing where you can just pass them off, where you can just like grab and then bop, grab, bop, and then just basically get a free stock. If you don't drop it, just get a free stock. And people in Melee hate it. Like it's banned now. You can't wobble now. But back then, it was completely legal. And it was awesome because I'm not getting wobbled. They're getting wobbled. And it was great because you don't see many people using ice climbers, but when someone gets a wobble, clearly the person's not good enough to beat, you know, whatever, but they got a chance because they can wobble, you know? That was so good. Oh, man. It was so good. Yeah, but personalities make a big... You ever watch Mike Ross, one of my favorite FGC... I never was into Mike Ross. I never watched him in his peak, like at the Excellent Adventures and all that, but I've seen some like mini documentaries and stuff on him, and yeah, he seemed like a pretty cool person, you know, at the time when he was still into it and all that. But yeah, his friend went kind of off the rails too. The other guy, forgot what his name is, but that other guy kind of went off the rails. So yeah. But it's all good though. Hit that like button though, guys. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let's go. Gutex, yeah, that guy's off the rails, man. I saw some, like his tweets and some of the stuff he be saying. This guy's kind of crazy, bro. Kind of crazy, but you know, whatever. He says, yeah, Gutex went and lost his damn mind. Yeah, Yeah, man. I don't know. I think that it can happen to anybody. I'm not gonna say the fighting community it can happen to you, but I mean, I think that like when you're at the peak or the pinnacle of something, you know, like he was with Excellent Adventures, and like that's kind of like gone. It's like, what's next? You know, what do you do next? Some people never recover from being that, you know, that top of the top. You know, you had Maximilian Dude kind of come in and take that spot. And other people, of course, you know, other commentators and stuff like that come in and take those spots, Sajam and things like that. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. What's up, Skeletank? He says, I used to follow the FGC, but kind of fell off after the past couple years. Yeah, I used to follow it a little bit more. I don't follow and watch as much as I used to. Like, I used to watch a lot more. I used to watch a lot more Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5. I watched a ton of Street Fighter 5. I have not been watching Street Fighter 6 as much. I watched a lot of, what else? I really just Street Fighter 5 and Smash. I used to watch a lot of those two, or just Street Fighter and Smash, and I just kind of fell off both of them. Don't know why, I just did. You know? Crazy Out Zero is not a professional bodybuilder. looks like good for him. Looks like a good Giga Chad. Yeah, he's looking, definitely Zero's put his weight loss journey to action, so that's good. Yeah, I heard Capcom Cup was really good this year. I heard it was really good this year. I didn't watch it though, but I heard it was good. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was really, really, it was goated in some ways, you know. But yeah, man, it's all good though, all good. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you have not hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming. Excuse me. I think we have. Let me take a look here. All right. So we're at 163 likes. We need to get to 175 likes. Let's go. We got 20 minutes left on the stream. Unless we get a couple more combos, 3 more combos to get us to 15, we will extend it out by 15 minutes for the first one there. Twitch unbanned Zero 2 weeks ago. Did they really unban Zero? Oh wow, maybe he goes back to streaming on Twitch, because I know he had a pretty big audience there, but most of his audience is gone. A lot of his audience is gone though. A lot of his audience is gone. So maybe they unbanned him there. I didn't know they unbanned him 2 weeks ago. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, party man? I took a long nap accidentally and just woke up. Nah, it's all good, party man. You're tired, bruh. You at work all day. You at work all day, bruh. You tired out here. So makes sense. How you doing though, party man? Shout outs to everybody here. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. Also, make sure you guys if you haven't seen my most recent video for today, I only dropped it a number of hours ago. Make sure you guys put that in your watch later and check it out. I go over a number of different things, like more Xenoblade stuff and some other stuff, like with Xbox games coming to Switch too. Like, we got some more details on that and like when it could be happening. Could be happening more sooner than later. So yeah, watch today's video as well. All right, let's see. Maybe Zero can rehabilitate his brand when the new Smash drops. I don't think there's no coming back from what happened, because the Smash community, they're crazy. So there's no coming back. There's no coming back from what happened. And like, there's too many people that are working against Zero that will always, no matter what, say that he's this or he's that. So there's really no real coming back from that. Now, can he rehabilitate it in a certain way? Absolutely, if he feels like it. But it's going to be tough, man, because, you know, people on Twitter are going to say whatever, and, you know, people are just going to say whatever they want. But maybe he can. Maybe he can. I think that like a 100% forever ban is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I don't think he should be banned for forever. But yeah, I'm glad that he got his account unbanned. How we feeling about the double direct this week? I'm okay. If it happens, that's cool. I'll be covering it. I'm more content for me to cover, so I'll be streaming it. If it happens, I'll be streaming it. I'll be there. I'll be there, ready to go. I'll be there, ready to go, ready to pick things up and go from there. You know, so I'm down. I am definitely down. I am down. I am downtown, baby. I mean, if it's happening, Nate the Hate said Thursday, on or around Thursday. So one guy said March 26th. So that would be Wednesday. So if it was going to be tomorrow, or if it was going to be Wednesday, that means they're going to announce it tomorrow. Now, if they don't, then it could just be like a shadow drop. That could also be a thing, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing either, you know? So So yeah. What's up? Hey, what's up, Kevin the Speedster? Been enjoying Xenoblade X, my first Xenoblade game ever. I don't know why you waited so long for it to be your first Xenoblade game, but I'm glad that you actually picked it up. Hopefully you try out the other ones too. I'm definitely streaming the Switch 2 Direct. I'll cop it live on stream if the pre-orders are up. Yeah, you might not be able to get one live on stream, but yeah, we'll see for sure, sis. Seems like we're in for a lot of hype these next few days. Yeah, looks like for like the next week or so, we could be in for a lot of good stuff. We have to wait and see, though. Once again, we have to wait and see. But you know, Nate the Hate says that it's coming. The Direct, he says that it's coming, so we'll see if that actually happens or not. You know. So yeah. So we'll see if it actually happens overall. So we are in the hype. We are. Listen, I told you guys that it was going to be. I told you guys that it was going to be pretty awesome coming up, and it was going to be here before you know it. And that's the case. And that was the exact that was the case overall with it, man. It was here before you know it. So it's definitely good. It's definitely good. Nate put this up. He had over 3K views on this. 3K likes on this tweet that he had. 3K likes, and he says, to stop the constant questions. Yes, I've heard there is a Nintendo presentation this week. I believe it is on/around Thursday, and it will be a direct, but I'm not 100% certain on the format at present. So yeah, we don't know what it's actually going to be like, but there's going to be something here. Some people are saying Silk Song? Silk Song? Listen, we don't talk about Silk Song. We don't talk about Silk Song anymore, okay? We do not discuss Silk Song at all. We do not discuss that game until that game actually has, you know, until that game actually has something. You know? So yeah. Actually, while that time from the Switch trailer to now went by, yeah, it went by quick, man. It went by really, really quick. So yeah. Might be, yeah, it could be an indie showcase. That's true. It could be an indie showcase as well. We don't know. We don't know what the format's going to be or what it is. So yeah. So it's all good, you know. Xenoblade Chronicles X finally came in. Thanks again, Best Buy. Shout outs to Best Buy. Let's go. I just want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I think that's what a lot of people just want. Charter with the $2 is going to be a partner showcase. I'm calling it. I can see a partner showcase. Yeah, I can see that. I can see Chrono Trigger. If Chrono Trigger was at that partner showcase, oh boy. That would be great. Bring back Chrono Trigger 30th anniversary, baby. Let's go. I want that. That's what I want. I want that. Shout out to Charger with the $2. We are one combo away from a 15-minute extension, as we've only got 13 minutes left on the stream. Yeah, we are close. Shout out to my man Chartar. Thank you so much for that $2 dono. Let's see here. Let's see here. I was in the camp that it would come fast. That's true. You were. I just finished Xenoblade X. Pete cried so empty. I need more Xenoblade now. You just finished it? Okay, I'm guessing you downloaded it beforehand. There ain't no way you beat the game that quick, because the game just came out. But then again, you could have no-lifed it. But how can you do all the side quests and stuff? No, you definitely downloaded it early. You definitely stole it. Or downloaded it first on the internet. You definitely did. But it's all good. I'm glad that you beat it and you enjoyed it. Do you prefer real-time combat like Xenoblade did or Ni no Kuni turn-based? There's not one that I prefer. Not whatever works well, works well. Let's see here. Charge up with the middle $2 says, do you want Chrono Trigger remastered or remade? HD 2D remake would be pretty cool. I mean, it's already been remastered on PC. I have that one. So I have a remaster. That's really the mobile version, but that's essentially a remaster. But I already have that. So HD 2D remake would probably be something awesome. Jacob with the 78 months. So baby in the 97th percentile in height. He's coming for your coming for baby OJ. 97th percentile. Oh yeah, he's gonna be huge. Look, my baby was only in the my baby was in the 89th percentile. So yes, Jake, and we know your baby's gonna be way taller than my baby. But like I said, if there was a speed percentile, I'm telling you, my boy is in the 99. My boy's up there with Deion Sanders, okay, Xavier Worthy, Deion Sanders, Xavier Worthy, and Bo Jackson. This boy is fast. He's already literally sprinting, like down the hallway here. He's like in a baby sprint where he's just kind of like flailing his arms, but the boy is schmoving. My man be wave dashing. Like, he be looking like he's wave. My man, my boy is fast. Fast. no Shador. No Shador. Deion. Like, Neon. Like, Deion Sanders fast, bro. I'm telling you, man. Wait until you see. 16, 17 years, when you see that, Jake, and when you see that NIL deal, popping to the University of Southern California, I'll be like, what did I tell y'all? I told y'all this 15 years ago. I told y'all 15 years ago. This boy's going to be one of the #1 recruits and running back in the nation in California. I told you guys. Wait and see. This boy's going to have everything set up by the time that he's 16, 17 years old. Those NIL deals are going to be popping. Let's see. Mini Jacob versus Mini OJ. One of these days, maybe state championship football. Man, my boy be smoothing, man. He smooths. He smooths all over the place. He be running. He's strong too. He picked up a PS5 like when he was like 6-7 months years old. That's how you know you got that that raw strength. That's how you know that raw strength is coming. Maybe not like the weightlifting strength, but like the raw strength. Like when you pick up a PS5, when you don't even know what a PS5 is, when you can't even talk, when you got a bottle in your mouth or you got a pacifier in your mouth and you picking up a whole PS5, boy's got that raw man strength. Oh man. Let's see here. But it's all good though. Shout out to Jake and thank you for the 78 months. And big love to Charger. Thank you for the $2. Once again, that does get us to 16 on the comment board. So we have an extension of 15 minutes. Hey yo, let's go. Let's get this going here, baby. No overclock. Hopefully it works.
Overclock Buster!
I don't know if the notification actually played. It might have. I don't know if it did. But I don't know if the audio played right away because I didn't test it beforehand. But that's okay. I hear it now. So you guys might have heard it before. You might have heard it right now. Either way, I appreciate y'all. Let's go 15 minutes extension. Next one up is at 30. We are close to that one as well. 14 more combos, and we got that. Chartard, if you want some music, let me know, and I got some tracks for you, brother. Thank you for the support. I've never played Chrono Trigger, so that would be dope. Yes, Chrono Trigger is awesome, dude. It is so good. It is so good. It is so good. Love Chrono Trigger. It's such a great game. Nah, he needs to squat a fridge, then you'll be impressed. Squat a fridge? How could you squat a fridge? Picking up a PS5 that's like, dude, the PS5 is like 3 times the size. Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, he's great. My boy's great. He's a cool guy. Fast as lightning, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to get him training. But that's a story for another day. The fridge is the Xbox. Doesn't the PS5 weigh more than the Xbox? If I'm not correct. I think the PS5 weighs more than the Xbox. If I'm not correct, like the Xbox Series. I'm not sure which one weighs more. I'm actually curious now. Which one weighs more? PS5 disc PS5 disc weight or PS5 weight. How much does the PS5 weigh? The PS5 weighs approximately 9.9 pounds or 4.5 kilos. So how much is the Xbox? Xbox Series X weight. Ah, 9.81 pounds. So yes, 4.45 kilos. So the PS5 is slightly heavier than the Xbox Series, just slightly. Just slightly. I knew they were kind of close, but Xbox a bit more compact and dense. PS5 is a bit more oblonged, but yeah. Payochi is except OJ playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. Its peak, yes, it's very good. It's very good. OJ's boy picking up that PS5 like a teddy bear and ran across the room. Yeah, I would. Oh man, yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. Yeah, weight and height, he was in high percentiles for both. He's gonna be a lot bigger and taller than me. I know that. So that's good. It's definitely good. Definitely a good thing. My PS5 is such an eyesore under your TV. I have it next to my TV, and I have my Switch OLED right in front of it. So it actually looks pretty good because like the Switch OLED is white and black. Plus I have this white and black controller, the Smash controller I use for it. Plus I have the Smash dock as well. If I had the white dock, that would look good too, but the Smash dock also looks good. So it actually looks pretty good on the side of my TV. It actually, my PS5 looks pretty solid. Looks good. Can't complain. Let's see here. Yeah, it's kind of they kind of match. They kind of match, so it looks good. Cause like I have this OLED, so this OLED, it's like, you know, the white Joy-Cons. So I got the white Joy-Cons, the white trim with the white PS5 controller, the white PS5 with the black trim. It all looks good. It all looks good, you know, overall. So to me at least. Why did you think Monster? What do I think of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak? I didn't really play too much of it, but yeah. So you know, Nintendo doesn't remaster games; they either port it or add HD to the name. Doesn't remaster games; they either port it or add HD to the name. Well, they do remaster games. Just because they call it HD doesn't mean it's a remaster, or doesn't mean that it's not a remaster. You know, like, you know, so for example, let's see here, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's definitely a remaster. That's not a port. And that's not called, and then they didn't add HD to the name. Metroid Prime remastered, you know, so I don't know what you're talking about. They definitely remaster games, Vito. They definitely remaster. Like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles, both times Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive, those are both remasters. They didn't add HD to the name. And those aren't ports. Those aren't direct ports. Metroid Prime remastered. So I don't know what you're talking about. You know, not sure what you're talking about. Also, Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess HD. That is not an HD port. That's probably one of their best remasters. Is Twilight Princess, because they bumped the frame rate up to 60 frames. It's a 30 frames per second game. They bumped it up to 60 frames per second on that remaster, and they also redid texture work for it. You know, in terms of the graphics and all that, it runs at 1080p. I think it runs at a locked 1080p if I'm not correct. I mean, if it's dynamic, it's not that noticeable. But yeah, it runs at a locked 1080p, 60 frames per second. They add button controls. You know, the music sounds good. Quality, sound effects, everything's pretty solid in that game. So yeah. Mario RPG is not a remaster. That is a remake. That is a remake of the original Super Nintendo game. That is not a remaster. That's a ground up remake of the game. Which I guess I can say that this time. Yes, it's a ground-up remake. But it's all good. But I'm not sure where does this come from, Beto? What games are you? Where does this? Where were you hearing this from? What's up, Adrian? Welcome. Yo, OJ, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is Nate right about the Switch Direct? It's probably like an 8 or a 9 because he's been right on most of the stuff that he said recently. We also have Kirby Planet Robobot. That's another game that could be at this supposed Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. Kirby Planet Robobot. That's another one, you know? So yeah, What did he say? He said that he has heard that there's going to be a Nintendo presentation this week. So yeah. Double M, hopefully not getting fired from his job with the $5 donuts. I can't think of any to say, but I'll donate anyway. Hey, it's all good. You want a music track? And I got you, brother. Thank you so much. Double M with the $5 dono. Actually becoming the Stream Ninja and Stream Hokage. Hey, yo, let's go. Thank you so much. Double M in the house. Appreciate that. By 1 penny, by the way. Anybody does $5 or more, you could beat out Double M. Or if you've already supported, just subtract the difference. Double M on the board. Thank you for the big $5. Let's go. 9 away from a 30-minute extension on stream. Hey, yo. We are, I think we're almost into the 15-minute bonus time. So let's go. Big love to Double M. Shout outs, bro. You want some music, Double M? Let me play some Xenoblade music for you in honor of you getting suspended at work. Let's go. Let's play some what's it called? Some music for you, brother. Xenoblade X. Let's play some Theme X. Appreciate you, man. But would they show LOL GC on NSO? I don't know if they would or not. I don't think that's happening, but you never know. Nintendo can be sometimes unpredictable in terms of what they're going to talk about or what they're going to do. So, I mean, they could, but then, you know, they could not, you know. So, so they could, but then they also could not. Shout out to Double M, man. Appreciate the big dono. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Let's go. We're getting into the extra time here, though, guys. 15 minutes. Unless we hit that 30, let's get it. I was joking about being suspended. I knew you were joking because you got suspended for a week. That's crazy. So I knew you were joking. Nani, my body is ready. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker ports, FE remake, Prime 2, Prime 3, maybe. It's the same stuff I've been saying, Party Man, for the last 5 years. Anytime I make a video, I know, OJ, Fire Emblem, Metroid, Twilight Princess, we know. That's why I'm gonna make another video tomorrow morning. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna wake up early because if the direct is on Wednesday, then it's gonna be announced on tomorrow. So I gotta wake up super early in the morning. I gotta go to sleep early now. I gotta go to sleep early. I gotta wake up early. You know? I am gonna make another one. I'm tomorrow morning. If they announce it, I'm gonna make predictions. Well, I'm gonna make if they don't announce it tomorrow morning, I'm going to make a video with predictions on what they could. It'll be the same video that I made like a month ago. It'll be the same video that I made a month ago. And it'll be awesome. You guys will watch it. It'll be great. Trust me. It'll be really good. Random, but the 3DS is finally getting the recognition it deserves after its shelf life ended. Prices are going up. I mean, that's just natural. It's not like it's getting the attention it deserved. It just means that it's getting more rare, you know? Same thing's gonna happen to Wii U as well, you know? This is how it is with collecting, physical collecting. Happened with GameCube too. Hell, even Virtual Boy is expensive, like with some of the stuff. So it's gonna happen with pretty much anything that's like systems, physical games, things like that. More rare that it gets, more the prices go up. So, hold up, I'm gonna move this real quick. Alright, there you go. I hope they do one though. Yeah, I hope they do too, Trey. Somebody's on a motorcycle outside. Or maybe they shadow drop like they did with the Switch 2 reveal. Or maybe, that's true. Could be a shadow, that's true. It could just be a straight up shadow drop. Which I would not want that, but if they did, that'd be fine. You know, I'd be. It was so funny because like when the Switch 2 was revealed, I was in my room sleeping, but then I woke up. Like I said, okay, look, Nate says it's gonna be this day, so I woke up and I'm just on the internet, just waiting. You know. Oh snap! Yo, what is this big queen? What? Oh no! Oh my god! Big Queen, you scared me. Yo, thank you so much, Big Queen. Big Queen, you scared me and I love you. Thank you so much for the big $150 dono. Holy smokes, it's like hot in my room. I'm like sweating. Yo, big love. I hit my green screen. Big love to Big Queen. What is all this about? Beat Queen, you've already been supporting like crazy. Thank you for the 150. Looks like I'm staying. I gotta go turn on my air conditioner before it gets any hotter in this room. This room of mine is not the biggest room. It's actually somewhat, I wouldn't say it's small, but it's definitely not big. It's just an okay size room. So it definitely gets a little bit moist and warm in here. Are the vents opened all the way? I don't know if they are. Shout outs to Bead Queen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we definitely have to do some extra. I'm staying, man. I just woke up. You ain't going. I'm not going anywhere. Beef cream. No, it's Bead Queen with the 150. Bead Queen out here showing up, showing out, and I know what to play, Bead Queen. I know what to play. I know what you're looking for. So we're gonna play some music that I know Bead Queen likes. We're gonna play a whole soundtrack. Alright. Big love to Bead Queen with the 150! And of course, we gotta play the notification for them all. To beat them all. We know what time it is. And it is time for a limit break! Yes, sir. And Animal Crossing music. All right. Let me put Bead Queen up at the top of the board, and then let me go turn on the air because it is a Blaziken in here. We gotta rock this. This is it. Nady Nate with the $5 is bring on Chrono Trigger HD. 2D Wednesday, baby. Can we play some Sea of Stars? Yes, we can. Thank you so much, my man, Nady Nate, with the big $5 after Bead Queen. Yo, let's go. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate that. Holy smokes, Bead Queen that literally scared us. I was not expecting. I'm just chilling here. We're having a good time. You guys know how it is, man. I appreciate anything that I get. Appreciate you guys spending your life clock here, man. That's the crazy thing, man. I never expected that it'd ever get as big as it has. But we going to infinity and beyond. We going even bigger with the Switch 2, man. It is going to be awesome. But I'm still going to do it like we do it here, man. You guys know the deal. Nady Nate, thank you for the $5 as well. People are it's just hopeful. We don't know if Chrono Trigger is coming, but it's the 30th anniversary. And they've already stated that there's some plans. So maybe people are just hoping that Nintendo does something. So it's more of it's a hopium more than an actual real thing. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me open up this. All right. Give me 1 second here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to open up the vent here, and I didn't think you guys want to see me climb up and open up the vent. So, I was out here doing... Peace out. So, yeah, man. Shout out Sean. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's definitely hopium. For the whole Chrono Trigger thing is hopium. That is complete. That's complete hopium. That's not anything that's been confirmed or guaranteed or anything like that. Complete hopium. Complete hopium. So yeah. I was using flying Raijin Jutsu. Flying Raijin Jutsu. Yeah, man, all good. Double Switch Direct for the first, be a first for Nintendo. They only ever do that when it's an indie showcase. Shaking my head. They've done it before, but they've done it in a weird type of way. They've done it. I think that there's probably some type of instance where they've done it that I can remember, but I can't remember exactly. Overall, we're gonna come back to this in terms of Animal Crossing, and we're gonna do Nadine's. I think you wanted Chrono Trigger, right? Or no, Sea of Stars. Then we'll come back to that. Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars. Stars Align. So there we go. Hopium's all the way cranked up to the max, guys. Trust me. It's not like it's going to happen, but it's also based off of you know, some of the stuff that Square Enix has said. Square Enix has stated that there's going to be there's events planned, there's stuff planned, you know, for Chrono Trigger. They've also, once again, we're drawing some parallels and some connections to Nintendo in the past with like stuff like Octopath Traveler, with things like Live Alive. Those have all been announced kind of like out of the nowhere for Nintendo systems. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. So I do think that there might be something there, but once again, we have to wait and see. For sure, we have to wait and see. You know, overall. Legends ZM, the whole game leaked less than a month after the first trailer. That wasn't the whole game being leaked. That was the people that, like the hackers that got into it, and it was an incomplete version of the game. It wasn't necessarily a completed version of the game. So not really. Let's see here. Yeah, but we out here. If they do, be sure to drop pre-order for Chrono for sure. Hopefully for us. Hopefully. Like I said, we'll see, man. I don't know if it's... There's no way to tell it it's actually going to happen. So, yeah. What if Nintendo does split directs with Switch 1 and Switch 2 like they used to do with DS and Switch? They never split the directs. Like, what do you mean by split them? Like, do you mean like, oh, some parts are for Switch 1, some parts are for Switch 2? No, they wouldn't do that. They'd probably just focus most of the directs on Switch 2, and then if it's a Switch 1 game, they'll say, hey, this game's playable via backwards compatibility, but I doubt they would actually, like, or do you mean like the Wii U and 3DS? I doubt they'd actually go about it that way. They'd probably just do it like they did in the Switch era, where there might be a small segment, but once again, the 3DS is not backwards compatible, or is not forward compatible. Like, you can't play 3DS games on Switch, so they had to separate it. With Switch 1 and Switch 2, yes, you can't play Switch 2 games on Switch 1, but the directs are going to be focused on Switch 2 in the games, but you can play Switch 1 games on Switch 2. So you position the Switch 1 games as, hey, you can play these on your new system. And of course, if you have a Switch 1, you can play them on your Switch 1. So the messaging will just be kind of flipped. But before, they had to split it because they're two incompatible systems overall, you know? So, yeah. Third-party Switch Direct, Switch 2 Direct will be crazy. Third-party Switch 2 Direct. I don't know. You know what the funny thing is? I don't know if Nintendo will do partner directs in the era. Like, they could. Don't get me wrong. They could. But I don't know if they'll do them. I think that they'll just work them into their regular directs. But we'll have to, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. They could do the exact same thing. They could not. Because partner directs are new. Those did not start in the Wii U or 3DS era. Partner directs started in the Switch era. So, I mean, could they continue on with them? Yes. Or maybe not. They might just decide to do, hey, look, we're going to do Nintendo Directs and we're going to have these third-party games in there, you know? But we'll see. We'll see. It definitely, I mean, it would be kind of crazy to have partner directs. I think all the partner directs that they do have would be lit because, you know, or not all, they wouldn't all be lit, but they'd be potential to be lit because it's like, oh, wow, we're going to be getting this big third-party game for the first time, you know, on Nintendo platform, or this big third-party game that came out on PS4, Xbox One. People have been wanting portable that's not Steam Deck, you know, and we're gonna get it on here. So I think that would be the cool thing about that, you know. So yeah, that we'll see though. We'll see. Also, code was part of the reason partner directs were a thing. That's true. Although they did do direct minis, and direct minis were kind of like partner directs, so they kind of like morphed. Right? Like, minis morphed into partner showcases, so it could be like that type of thing too, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. Also, COVID was a part of the... Okay, yeah, COVID. There we go. They did direct minis, but yeah, definitely got changed up during COVID. Yes, it got changed up. So I don't know. We haven't had a mini direct in a while, right? When was the last time that we had a Nintendo Direct mini? So usually it's like the partner showcases. So yeah, usually the partner showcases for that. But we'll see, you know. We'll see for sure. I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to see what Nintendo has for us. Just chill until next week. Yeah, I'm Xenoblading till next week. I am going guns blazing. I'm going guns blazing in Xenoblade. I'm going to play some more Animal Crossing music for Bead Queen. Once again, Bead Queen, I want to say, Bead Queen, you've been incredible. Definitely one of the awesome Elite Ninja. I appreciate you so much, Bead Queen. You're very nice. Once again, Bead Queen always supports, so I can't understate my appreciation so much. So thank you. Hopefully you enjoy the Animal Crossing music. If you have some other music you want me to drop, let me know. Bead Queen and I got you, for sure. There's so much content they can probably show this summer. Hardware first, third party. Yeah, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content coming, Sean. Like, there's a lot more content that they have to look how they're gonna manage than what when the Switch 1 was launched. Switch 1 had no third-party games at launch. Like, legitimately almost nothing at launch. Third-party games, what was the third-party games? Barely anything. And then even over the next number of months, it was really just driven by first-party games and indie games. Smaller AA, like, you know, Disgaea, you know, there was Minecraft, I think, that came out at some point. But, like, before the end of the year, like Doom and, you know, and Skyrim and Resident Evil and all that came out, bro, the first number of months was just Nintendo first party and like Mario plus Rabbids, you know, and a few AA, like I said, Disgaea and games like that, right? And indie games. So it's going to be a little bit different with the Switch 2. So I think it's going to be fun to see exactly how that is going to be planned, you know? So yeah. Okay, this is some of that weird, this is the weird KK music. Let's do this one. I like this one. No, not New Horizons. Animal Crossing. New Leaf. New Leaf. That one. Here we go. Yeah. Do Halloween. Halloween's coming up. Let's go. Yo, Vice with the big $10 dono. Yo, what up, Vice? Shoutouts. And Johnny with the $1.99. Thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate you. Let's go. Vice and Johnny coming through. Getting us almost to the double platinum, which is insane considering where we were, like with with about 2 hours. Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all out here tonight. Johnny. Appreciate that. Let's go. Also, let's get the... Oh, I forgot to test it before. Oh. Either Further Than Beyond, baby. Let's go. This is why anyone says Switch sold very well, mainly because AAA games on the go narrative is false and revisionist. The thing that I've been seeing is that Switch only sold as well as it did just because of COVID. I've been seeing some people say that, which was silly because Switch's best years were like after COVID, or at least after the lockdowns ended, and even before they had good years, and even after that. So, but yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, the whole third parties on the go narrative, like, don't get me wrong, people definitely bought the Switch because you can play big AAA games on the go. But the amount of people that bought the Switch for that is minuscule compared to the people who bought the Switch to play Nintendo's biggest first-party games. This is not a lie. This is not me making something up. This is factual data and evidence. The best-selling games on a platform are the reason why people buy the platform. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. If your best-selling games are third-party games, then one of the big reasons why, one, is because of third-party games. Now, you could be known for other things, like Sony, for example, but for the most part, people are going to buy it because they want to play X, Y, or Z game that's on your platform. And if the sales of that game are high on that platform, then that means people bought it for that platform. That's just an undisputable fact. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just, that's just what it is. And with the Nintendo Switch, there's no question. The best-selling games were the Nintendo first-party games. So therefore, those are the system sellers. Those are the games that got people to actually buy the system. It's not, like I said, there's nothing that anybody can say that's the truth. That's just it. Take it easy, Dior. Thanks for coming out to the stream, man. I appreciate you. It was really cool to see that Bethesda was on board from the beginning. It was cool to see that Bethesda was on board because I remember watching, watching the bonus round, right? Watching the bonus round, which was a really cool podcast. I love the bonus round. That was back Jeff Keighley. I think that was Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley would bring people into the GameTrailers.com studio or some studio or whatever. Man, the quality of the content that we had for gaming was significantly better. We have all sorts of content creators now, and the content's whatever. But I'm telling you, man, some of that content that GameTrailers.com produced in the mid 2000s or mid to late 2000s to early 2010s was some of the best content out there. But anyway, GameTrailers.com had this show called The Bonus Round, and it'd be Jeff Keighley, and he would bring on like one journalist, one game developer, and like one something else, or maybe a couple different journalists. Maybe a different game developer, or maybe even somebody from like the GameTrailers.com staff, right? So it was pretty cool. They'd sit them in this room and they'd sit down and talk about different topics, and it was great. They'd bring on Michael Pachter. It was great. It was an incredible format. Big love to Keighley for that one. I love that format. And I remember on the bonus round, was it on the bonus round? It might have been on the bonus round. But anyway, Pete Hines was on that show one time, and I think Jeff Keighley asked him about the Wii U and why he's not putting out any games or what's going on, and like Pete Hines just blasted Nintendo right there. It was either in the bonus round or it was like in an interview that I saw. So it would have been one of the two, but I think Pete Hines was on that show regardless. But anyway, and Pete Hines just blasted them. I know Bethesda just blasted the Nintendo saying, no, we're not going to make games for your system. If you're just going to say, hey, here's a system and make games for us, you have to talk to us beforehand. You have to be like Microsoft and Sony. That's what Bethesda said. That's what Pete Hines said. And that was, like I said, out there in the public, not like a corporate response like, oh yeah, we're looking into it, we're seeing it just launched, they didn't talk to us beforehand, but we're looking to see what we can do in the future. He was pretty adamant and defiant, and a lot of developers were like that. And then the change in that from the Nintendo Switch, where Bethesda was on board from the beginning, because what did Nintendo do? Nintendo went to them and talked to them and said, hey, look, we'd like to do this. We'll help out with publishing, whatever the case is. So they definitely got the message loud and clear, from this. That's the main difference. And maybe I want to make a video on that, but that's the main difference from Switch 1 to Switch 2 is that right there. That story is the biggest difference, in my opinion. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. That's pretty cool. I've been playing Persona 3 Reloaded and enjoying every minute of it. Yeah, Persona 3 Reload is actually really good. It's really, really, really good. I like it. I'm waiting for the Switch 2 version, though. I want a truly portable version of the game that I can play anywhere because it's Persona. So, and I don't want to do Steam. I tried Steam Deck. I don't want to do it on Steam Deck. Because like when I try to play it on my PC, it like the profiles mess up in terms of the settings, then it like runs bad on my Steam Deck and stuff. It doesn't save it, and it was just anyway. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the Switch 2 version of that game, and then I'll play it like all the way through. Yeah, it's good. I'm playing Xenoblade X right now myself. I bought a Switch for the first time when N64 dropped on there. I fell for it. That was so funny that you're saying that, Sean, because I got called a shill, a fanboy, and names when I said that the N64 app will get better, and it's just the beginning, and they're just starting out, and they'll add more games to it, and people will like it eventually. And I got called every name in the book. And then when it actually did get better, what did guys on the Spawncast tell me? Oh, well, yeah, whatever, OJ. Nintendo needed that. If we didn't say that, they would have never. I'm like, oh, brother. I didn't say it because like what MVG said to me. I'm like, oh, brother, cut me a break, bro. Like, come on. I'm like, I just took it, but I was thinking to myself, like, oh, come on. I knew this would happen. People are going to go crazy with it. They're going to add stuff. They're going to drip feed like they always drip feed. And then eventually people are going to think it's okay. That's literally what they've done for all I did was just say what they're going to do, like repeat what they were going to do, what they've already done with the Super Nintendo when people were saying that it wasn't worth it with Super Nintendo and NES. And then eventually, oh, well, now it's worth it. Or Game Boy Advance or whatever, Game Boy Color, whatever else they've added to it, right? So it was just funny when I was getting blasted on the Spawncast from everybody say, oh, you're shilling. I'm like, dude, I'm not shilling. It's just going to be the same thing that it was with the Super Nintendo. And it was the same thing, Let's see. They still call you a fanboy even if you're right. I know. It doesn't matter if I'm right or if I'm wrong. The name calling will continue, but that's okay. It's fine. There's a reason why. Once again, there's a reason why I still can get so many things right. Is because I have some sense. I have a little bit of sense. Yeah, people never learn, man. The 64 blue N64 controller and everything Nintendo got me. Yeah, man, they got you, bro. They got you, man. Hey, look, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. People will never learn, though. They don't have to learn, though. I mean, there is a time and place to be critical, and I was critical of it overall. You know, I was critical of some of the things that they were saying or that was being said. But what I said was like, hey, look, you know, that doesn't mean you know, it's not gonna end up like they're not gonna add stuff and all that. That doesn't mean it won't end up eventually being worth it. You know, everybody, like every service has started out kind of slow, then kind of built up to more and more. And I think that's gonna be the case here with this. And that's what's happened. Now, some people might not think it's still not worth it, but you know, it is what it is. And shout outs to everybody watching over on Twitter. Appreciate you guys. Got a bunch of people watching on Twitter. For those, so I appreciate you guys watching. Shout outs to hundreds of people watching on Twitter. So I appreciate you guys coming through. Check out the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitter, check out the YouTube channel, Player Essence. We do daily videos and stuff. So thank you guys for watching, though. Got like 500 people watching or something on Twitter. Kevin the Speedster with the $5 dono. Ayo, Kevin the Speedster.
In addition to brand new Switch 2 games, I'm also looking forward to how much better original Switch 1 games will run on Switch 2 after a possible patch or update.
Yeah, that's definitely something. I mean, the only option is 60 frames, right? For the most part. But yeah, we did get some stuff from Xenoblade 3. It looks like, or Xenoblade 3, from Xenoblade, where it looks like Xenoblade Chronicles X will be running at 60 frames per second on the Switch 2. So yeah. There is a possibility for that too. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild getting remasters. I would love for that. Like, that's the funniest thing about that. Nintendo, if there's a drought in the lineup, Nintendo can drop a patch for... Nintendo can re-release the game, or they can they can just say, here's the Switch 2 version. You know, it's the same game, but just with the patch installed on the cart, right? Here's the Switch 2 version of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Here's the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom. They can, just here's the patch. And you got, like, that would be so lit, man. I would be super down if they just drop patches for the games. Xenoblade. Yeah, that's why I'm taking my time with Xenoblade, party man. That's why I'm doing every side quest. I'm not rushing through the main story because there's no way in hell I'm playing that game again. Like, if I beat that game and then, like, before Switch 2 comes out, before they announce a patch, and then, you know, and then they patch and say, oh, it now runs at 60. I'm not going back and beating that game again. So I am taking my time. I am doing all the side quests, and I'm going to hopefully, you know, extend it out. I'm going to do some of the online stuff. I'm going to extend that baby out to, I'm going to just grind, just mindlessly grind, you know, in certain places, and then extend it out to as far as I can. But it might be tough to not beat it within the time frame, because, I mean, what if the Switch 2 comes out in May? We still have, you know, all of April and May. It's going to be tough to not play it and beat the game by then, so yeah. Is the direct really happening? It's a rumor right now. So if it happens, then we'll know if it happens. But it clearly, it says rumor, the name. I always find it funny when people say, is it really happening? It's like, guys, it's a rumor. So yes, it might. If it does, then we know that the rumor was true. Well, that's something I always get that. Is it happening? Yes, it might. That's what rumor means. Rumor means that we'll wait and see. Oh man, 7-year-old J, definitely a slow burn. Yeah, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that I can. But then again, I mean, I could always play it and then play the online in 60 frames. So I'm kind of like making sure that I don't do all the online stuff. Maybe I'll wait and I'll do all the online stuff in 60 frames. That might be pretty cool to do, like all the cool online stuff in 60. So yeah, I think that'd be dope. Take your sweet time, man. Just don't count on Game Freak to do 60 frames per second patch. I'm not counting on Game Freak to do anything. I'm not counting on Game Freak to do anything at all. I mean, although a 60 FPS patch probably wouldn't be hard to do for like Scarlet and Violet. I don't think that'd be tough to do considering the overhead on the Switch 2. I don't think that'd be very difficult. Actually, I think it would be easier for them if they did. The problem is the graphics, not necessarily the optimization of the open world. But could they do 60? Yeah, sure, they could. You know, they could. I don't think it'd be that hard. I don't know, like I said, but I don't know about improving the graphics straight. So yeah. I don't know about improving the graphics. I don't know about all that, but 60 frames, yeah, sure. I'm really saving my playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom for Switch 2. Call me crazy, never played it yet. I can understand that, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. I had to play it. I don't mind doing another playthrough for Tears of the Kingdom at 60. I don't mind doing another one at, like, if it's 60 frames, I don't mind doing another one, because there's so many things. Like, I didn't do everything in the game. Like, I did a lot of stuff, but I didn't do everything. So I could definitely go back and, like, you play the game. You don't always play the game the same, because like how you solve the puzzles, like there's like a lot of different ways to do things. So I'm gonna play it differently. So yeah. But yeah, I'm not expecting Game Freak to do anything. I just find it like, if you can't mention Monolith Soft without someone saying Game Freak, you can, like, literally, it's rent free. You can't mention Monolith Soft. You can't without someone saying, "But this." Man, you got people who ain't never beat a Xenoblade game, who ain't never gonna even beat a Xenoblade game. They don't care. They're gonna use it as a prop. They're gonna use it as a prop. Let's see here. Kirby in the Forgotten Land of killed it. Wow. Kirby in the Forgotten Land kind of killed it. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is awesome. I'd love to see that in 60 frames per second too. Zach Riley with the 3 months of Jonan tier. What fun third-party surprises are you excited for from the Switch 2 reveal? I have a feeling that there will be a bunch of Xbox things there. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some Xbox stuff based off of what Tom Warren had to say, and of course based off of what Phil Spencer said himself. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some Xbox stuff there. I mean, I think that it would be wild if they said Halo. They announced Halo at the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation. Ooh, that would set the internet on fire. Like if they just said, yo, Halo Master Chief Collection, Switch 2, launch day, go pick it up, download it. Man, that would be wild. So yeah, I think that'd be interesting. What else? Definitely third-party stuff. I mean, Persona 3 Reload. I think that Metaphor ReFantazio, games like that are definitely coming over. Tekken seems to be a game that's coming over as well. So yeah, there's gonna be some nice games. There's gonna be some nice games. Let's see. Yeah, Argentina's video also, somebody also mentioned, why can't Game Freak make it as good as looking games? That's the standard thing. They're always gonna be connected at the hip. Next gen Switch called Switch 2, not Super Switch. Switch 2 actually having backwards compatibility. You've been right on most of the time. Many of the things are just coping. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been a number of things I've been wrong on, but yeah, like a lot of the stuff, a lot of the main things I've been right on. I did say Switch 2 is probably, I mean, I said Super Switch, but then I was like, you know what, when I started hearing about Switch 2 and why, I'm like, Switch 2 is probably a better name, and it's probably going to be named that, and people were like, no, and I'm like, no, yeah, it's probably going to be named that, you know. So it ended up being that. Big love once again to Bead Queen and everyone that helped extend this stream out. We are now 30 plus minutes into it. We got another 30 minutes left. So if you guys have comments, questions, whatever you guys want to talk about, feel free, drop them in the chat. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for your support tonight. Big love to Bead Queen, Kevin the Speedster, Zach Riley, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Kai, thank you. Kai Cahoon, thank you for the follow over there on Twitch. Vice as well. Nadine, Double M, Solid Jakin as well. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it. Minato Mario was also dropping some love at the beginning of the stream. Chartar too, appreciate you guys. Chris Gamer, Chaka Pacheco, appreciate you guys, man. JCat, be good. 7Dio, Anderson Blitz, thank you guys so much for your support. Hit that like button if you have not hit that like button. If you're watching over there on Twitch or YouTube or wherever the case is, thank you guys so much, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it. I can't see my Twitter chat if there is one, but most of the time you need like a premium account just to chat, which Elon Musk, man, like what the heck is going on? It would be so much more lit if people can just chat on Twitter without having a premium account. It should just be something that you can just do. I don't understand why you have to pay for a premium account just to chat on Twitter. It should just be, you can chat. So we could have a lot more people chatting and asking questions and comments and all that. It's so dumb. Or at least since I pay for Twitter, I should have the option of being able to enable chat for my stream where anybody can just chat. Anyway. Let's see. If we're getting the direct right before 2, I wonder what the direct will focus. I wonder if the direct will focus on Switch 2 games. No, it wouldn't focus on Switch 2 games because the Switch 2 direct is going to focus on Switch 2 games. If we get a direct before the Switch 2 direct, it's going to focus on Switch 1 games, or it's going to be a partner showcase, or it's going to be an indie world, or something like that. But no, the Switch 2 direct is when they're going to focus on Switch 2 games. That doesn't make any sense to make 2 Switch 2 directs. If they were going to talk about Switch 2 games before the April 2nd direct, they would have told us that we're going to talk about that before. This is a Switch 1 type of thing. So, no. Let's see. The only thing that you got wrong, Tears of the Kingdom surpassing Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's true. I did. By the way, many of you coming after you like a ton of... yeah, and I once again, I said I was wrong on that one. I said I was wrong on that one, and I'm not going to predict in terms of, like, series sequel sales. Those can always be kind of weird. Like, Mario Party Jamboree did better. Xenoblade has done better in some regards. Xenoblade 2, not so much with 3, but in terms of initial sales. So, yeah, I was wrong on that one. But, once again, like, it's still good. You never know at the end of the day. It's only been out for 2 years compared to the 7 years. But I did say that it would pass it up faster than that. So, I was wrong on that one. Remember when people were fighting on the Switch 2 name, like, it's not going to be called Switch 2, Super Switch, OJ, you're such a shill, man. I mean, I don't know if they called me a shill over that, but, yeah, I know that we were definitely having discussions on that one. Hey, shoutouts to, is that Manual T. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Elite Ninja Village. Big love. Thank you. Sorry if you guys hear my boy in the background. He's probably upset about something. Anyway, I bought my boy a tablet from Amazon. Dude, this is the worst tablet ever. I can't believe I paid the price that I paid, that $80, $90. Look, I'm not looking to get, like, the best tablet in the world, but I'm expecting a certain level of quality. And that tablet was trash. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to go to Best Buy. I'm just going to buy him a tablet from there. I'm just going to go look online, see if I can get, like, an actual name brand good tablet and buy it from, like, I'm going to go there and test it out and see the tablet myself before I buy any tablet. Never buy another tablet online ever again. Oh my goodness, bro. But anyway, I think he's probably tripping a little bit because we've been trying to cut back on his Coco Melon. So he usually watches Coco Melon around this time, but mom's trying to get him off of Coco Melon, get him playing with toys more. So he gets a little pissy at times. Switch 2 should have been called Switcheroo. I know, seriously, that would have been a great name. Real question is Switch 1 or OG Switch? Switch 1. Since the Switch 2 is called Switch 2, you would call the Switch 1. You would just call it Switch 1. You wouldn't call it OG Switch. Like, I think, like, you have to do that with Xbox because Microsoft has called their third Xbox One, so you can't call it Xbox One. So you have to call it OG Xbox or the original Xbox, you know? So yeah, it's a little weird with how Microsoft does it, but hey, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Yo, what's up, Zen G? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. The Soldier console. Soldier Boy. We'll tell him. Let's go. I think I'm going to put like a little box. Oh gosh, goodness gracious. I think I'm going to put like a little box around here so it's easier to see what's being the chat and what's being said in the chat. Figured out how to finally stream 3DS games without capture card. It was a process for sure. Streaming 3DS games without a capture card? How do you stream 3DS games without a capture card? That seems impossible unless you have it hooked up to a PC somehow. You need to have it hooked up to a PC in some type of way, shape, or form. But that seems crazy to be able to stream. You need to mod your 3DS. Something needs to happen. You can't just do that regularly. You need something else to do that. Do you think people will ever let their Wii U PTSD go? No. They'll always reference Wii U in some way, shape, or form. Because people still reference, people still reference the GameCube every now and then. So I think maybe eventually they'll let it go, but not anytime. So we need a number of like generations. So maybe Party Man, like your kids, right? So your grandkids will probably let it go, but your kid might not. But then again, never mind. Party Man, you're like the new generation. So like when you guys start having kids, okay, yes, those kids will let it go. So when all of you guys that are in your 20s or early 30s, if you don't have kids yet, or if you already have kids, those kids might let it go. Like my daughter and her generation, I think they will let that go because they grew up with the Switch. They grew up with okay, Nintendo's at the top. They grew up with that. So I don't think, I think that generation, but there's still people from the previous generation that are still going to be talking about it. So I think it might take fully till like my kids' kids. That's when I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, they finally let the Wii U go. You know, what's up, Brandon? Welcome. I've seen more people say Switch 2 name is boring, so how Super Switch is a much better name. But I bet they'll be confused to call it Super Switch. I think they just Super Switch because Super Nintendo. That's the only reason why people thought it was going to be okay or good. So yeah, you have to have a modded 3DS and download Arctic Base Serve and Citra. Yeah, that's what I thought. You need to definitely mod it. It needs to be modded because there's no way. There's no default software to get that done. But no, that's good though. That's really cool. I mean, I have no interest in streaming 3DS games or capturing 3DS games. I'll keep it a buck. But it's cool though. Maybe I would. Maybe I will. Never mind. I might have to hit you up on that, Redbeard. Maybe later down the line I might want to do that. What's up, Angel Page? What is good? Switch 64. That's a good name too. That's a great name. That's the name that it should have been named that. I don't know why Nintendo didn't do that. I don't know why you guys aren't hitting the like button too. We're at 189 likes. We need to get to 200 likes ASAP, Rocky. So hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming out here. To some extent, some weird Nintendo fans also getting Wii U PTSD and now saying Wii U is actually better than Switch. That's not PTSD. That's just. Yeah, it's not Wii U PTSD. It's all good. Yeah, that's not Wii U PTSD. If they're saying that it's better, that's more like, I don't know, Stockholm. That's not even Stockholm. It's something else, but yeah. Let's see here. OJ, what game would you love to see remake in Switch 2? What game would I love to see remake in Switch 2? You know, Skies of Arcadia would be like the all-time, oh my gosh, if they ever did this, remade that in on Switch 2, that would be like the greatest thing ever. So yeah. Like, I don't know if it's even Stockholm Syndrome. I don't think it's even, it's not even that. It's not even Stockholm Syndrome. It's just like revisionist history. It's just revisionist, or it's just non-objective, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. So I missed the old Desperate Nintendo PTSD. That's from that Joey Ferris guy. I missed the old because I can get Punch Out on the Wii for $10. Bro, I ain't seen that video, bro. This man out here talking about Nintendo gave us Punch Out for the Wii for $10 down. It's like, oh Lord, get a load of this guy. Who cares? That game that I already played. That you miss. You miss ROMs? That's what you miss? You miss getting ROMs that you can just download and play? Bro, get a load of this guy. Nobody misses that. Nobody misses that. Nintendo should release FPS Booster for Switch 1. FPS Booster for Switch 1. You mean like a patches for Switch 1 games? Yeah, they'll probably do some stuff like that, man. People legit get desperate. Let's see. People legit said they miss desperate. Yeah, like they miss almost about to shut down Nintendo. Less games from third-party Nintendo. Less droughts Nintendo. I miss that so I can get a deal on a ROM. Like, on an ISO. I miss that so I can get deals on ISOs. Or I can buy a bunch of Game & Wario and get 20% off Pikmin 3 or, you know, some nonsense. Like, oh, Lord. Like I said, get a load of this guy. Don't get me wrong. Sales and discounts are good, but I will definitely take presentations, directs, third-party games, constant flow of titles. I will take that over getting Punch Out for $5 or for $10 or for whatever. Or, you know, that's just me though. That's just me. So at least being honest this time, and I'll give him that. Unlike other YouTubers say, okay, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see here. Charge up with the $5. I didn't know Wii U caused generational trauma, and I had one. It did. It has caused some generational trauma. It has definitely caused. It caused generational trauma to the point to where people forgot that Nintendo actually did backwards compatibility, like backwards compatibility. I legitimately saw people arguing with me saying Nintendo never does backwards compatibility, and I'm like, well, the 3DS was backwards compatible with the DS, huh? The GameCube or the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, huh? The Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii, huh? People malfunctioning when I told them, like, little things, bro. It ain't even like the tough stuff. Like, little things. People malfunction. I saw one guy, he's like, Nintendo never does back. They want to sell you the same games. I'm like, well, they did backwards compatibility with the Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance, the DS, the DS, the 3DS, the Wii, the GameCube to Wii, the Wii to Wii U. I mean, they've done it. And this, you know what he wrote? He said, oh. I said, when you start playing games? He said he started playing games in the N64 era. So he was alive and playing games. Legit generational trauma from the Wii U to the Switch, bro. Because this dude's not young. He's like in his 30s or 40s. Legit forgot because of the Wii U and having to buy Mario Kart 8 again or having to buy New Super Mario Bros. Legit rebooted his whole system. Rebooted his whole inventory, bro. So yeah, man. That's when people talked more about Wii U after it died compared to when it was alive. That's true, I think. Well, it was talked about a lot when it was alive, man. I remember, dude. It was like the Wii U generation felt like Chrono Trigger's future. You guys remember Chrono Trigger's future when you go to the future and it's just like the music and it's all dark and dreary and people are like living in like real like shelters and Robo gets his butt kicked and all like it reminded me of the future in Chrono Trigger, bro. Bro, it was crazy. Let's see here. Chartar with the $2 says, bro, got the VA clinic sounding like a Muppet show. That's all people are. When I told them that they've done backwards compatibility, I'm like, but I watched MVG. And I'm like, bro, MVG and RGT did not say that the Switch 2 was not going to have backwards compatibility. This is what they said. MVG said that it would be hard to do, that there's a lot of work to be done to get backwards compatibility, which there is. It's not just a plug and play, okay? Unless like you want to actually just throw the system in there, right? Like a GBA. They just threw a whole GBA in a DS, or like a GameCube. They just threw a whole GameCube in a Wii, right? And built it around that or whatever, right? Same thing with the Wii U. It's not that easy, especially if you want to do updates and patches and things like that. You've got to build around it. That's all MVG was saying. He just said that there's a lot of work to be done with that, and he doesn't he doesn't know how Nintendo's going to handle that. That's all he said. And then people took that as he said that there is not going to be backwards compatibility, or it's unlikely. That's not what he said. So then RGT made a video saying that, oh, well, all the reasons why he thinks that Nintendo wouldn't do it. I mean, the reasons were obviously not good, not great, but some of that was like, oh, they can sell you games again and all that. But he never said that they would never have it. He never said that it wasn't going to happen, or it wasn't likely that it was going to happen. But the problem, he kept on making fun of people who were saying that, no, it is going to happen because of this chart or this graph. So it made it seem like he was saying that it wasn't going to happen like 100%. But he was 50-50 on it because he felt because they can resell games. But the problem with that logic is that it takes more time, effort, and money to sit there and repackage, resell, and re-put out the game than it does to simply just say, buy this same game on your Switch 2. The Wii U to the Switch, it's a different format. You went from spinning Wii U discs to cartridges. You can't do backwards compatibility. You change from PowerPC architecture to NVIDIA architecture to ARM. You can't do backwards compatibility. There is no way to backwards compatible that. Just like the cell processor from the PS3 to the PS4 x86. There's no way to backwards compatible that. Microsoft has to do software backwards compatibility, where every game's not supported, it's software downloaded, you download it. It doesn't run off the actual real backwards compatibility. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing here. People took it as he was saying that, so they used RGT and they used MVG to further their own Nintendo's dumb rhetoric, right? Nintendo's stupid. They would do to screw us over. They're greedy. They're gonna make us buy everything again. They exaggerated what they were saying. They never said all that, you know. But like I said, it didn't help that anytime that people said that they were gonna do it because of this, RGT would poke fun at them and all that. That didn't help. But he wasn't saying that. I watched the video. He wasn't saying that it was 100%. You know, he just simply going over what MVG had to say, then made his own comments on that. Charged Up with the $2 says, you think NSO will ever replace VC? NSO will ever replace, or do I think VC will ever replace NSO? No, I think Nintendo would rather have it this way. I think that maybe we'll get the option to maybe buy games after you've had the service for like a certain amount of time. Maybe you can actually like buy the game, or you can keep the game for longer or something like that. But I don't think they're ever gonna, they're not gonna revert back to the whole VC system. No, I don't think so. Not that, I mean, no, I don't think so. So yeah. Let's see. You know who did resell their games even though they had BC? Sony. PS2 had 3 GTA games. GTA 5, Last of Us. Yeah, I mean, Sony, even with backwards compatibility with the PS4 and the PS5, Sony is still remastered and re-released games, like, or remade games. So they've done that too, which is fine. You know, it's like, or they've charged $10 for upgrades or whatever the case. That's fine too. But you know, like I said, the general thought that they were these harbingers of not having it, you know, which I think, like I said, like when it was revealed that it was going to be backwards compatible, he was like, oh, okay, cool, it's backwards compatible. But I think he also felt like people were kind of coming after RGT a little bit because he poked so much fun at it, and he did have a video kind of being more negative about it than being positive about the chance of it happening. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that because, yeah, once again, a little bit of the Wii U PTSD, and that's fine. Everybody has it. Like, there are some things that I've said with the Wii U that people disagree with me when it comes down to it, with the Switch, and hey, don't do this because of Wii U. So everybody has a little, if you have the Wii U, you have a little bit of it, but sometimes it goes to extra lengths and not. To me, I don't think that the PTSD should ever get bad enough to the point that we're saying Nintendo wants to resell the same games in the same architecture, in the same format of games that are consistently selling right now. That they could just simply, if they're going to use cartridges and it's going to be NVIDIA, duh, I mean, yeah, backwards compatibility. You can just keep selling that Smash Brothers cartridge, you know, you can just keep selling that Mario Odyssey cartridge. There's no reason to not sell it anymore, you know, and you can put out a patch and people will buy that same cartridge, or you can re-release the game. If people don't have it, you can re-release it, but that doesn't mean that they're going to not give you access to that. They make more money doing it this way. Backwards compatibility and having the ability to patch the games and, you know, release it that way, that actually makes you a lot of money. There's a lot of people who have bought PS4 games. Maybe they didn't have a PS4, but they have a PS5, and they've bought PS4 games because, like, oh, I missed this one on PS4. I'm going to check it out. You know, I'm going to check it out on my PS5. Ghost of Tsushima's that way. They released the PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima, but if you wanted to play it on your PS4, you can get an update for it to run at 60 frames per second. Boom, PS4 right there. Backwards compatibility. People went out there and bought Ghost of Tsushima, you know, for PS4. So, like, it helps you out. It's not a negative thing. It helps you out, you know. It frees up resources. You know, you don't have to sit there and spend time porting all these games, you know. So yeah. BC means digital only art. Yeah, I remember that. Now that was just stupid from the beginning. That was just dumb from the very beginning. That was Tom Warren. Obviously, Tom Warren does not know what he's talking about when it comes to Nintendo's. Like, he didn't know that Nintendo calls games software. He didn't know that. He felt that software somehow meant digital only. I don't know why he's equating software to digital. I'm not sure why. But I think he just felt like the name software sounds all digital and hardware is physical. So software digital, hardware physical. They haven't. I mean, I don't know what he meant by that. But yeah, like Nintendo, when they say Nintendo Switch software, they've always meant physical and digital. If you go on their, you know, their investor page, it says Nintendo, like game sales, Nintendo does physical and digital combined, and it says Nintendo Switch software. They've used the term software in presentations, which is never only directed towards digital or physical. It's just been software. Now, yeah, some games might be digital only. Some games never physical only, but they also mean physical, you know. But they've never addressed software as only, like, as anything outside of that. They've never said Nintendo Switch software physical. You know, they've never said stuff like that, which, once again, I think because he deals with Microsoft, and Microsoft is damn near all digital. So I think that's the reason why he was thinking that. But the only thing that I didn't like is that when people tried to let him know, he never corrected himself. He never put out another tweet. He just put out another tweet when it was confirmed that it was physical and digital. Nintendo has now confirmed physical and digital. Like, bro, get a load of this guy. Like, I'm saying, bro, stop being so full of yourself. If you're wrong on something, just say, yo, man, I didn't know that was the case. But he didn't want to admit that. So that's the one thing that I'll say that I'm like, okay, this guy's a little bit narcissistic, because he wouldn't even admit that he was wrong on that, and he was telling people that they don't know. No, it was always physical and digital. It was never just digital or unconfirmed. No, that's just you adding in your own 2 cents. You know, that was never, but that was nothing to do with what Mr. Furukawa said. He never said anything about, you know, it's unconfirmed with physical or not. That was never the case, you know? So, yeah. But it's all good. What's up, Aaron? Pride couldn't bite the dust. Yeah, his pride was just high on that one. So it's like, fine, it's whatever. That's the only thing that I didn't like, because many people, myself included, let him know, and I know he saw that, and he just didn't regard. He just ignored it, you know, which is fine. That's fine. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you know, that's the only thing that I did not like. But outside of that, he's okay. People never admit they're wrong online. I mean, some people do, but a lot of people do not. Any odds for a cheap micro Switch to sell off the rest of the Switch stock components? A cheap micro Switch? They already have the Switch Lite, so chances are no. Chances are they would just keep selling the Switch Lite and just sell off the stock with whatever they have. Not on topic, but just got through Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the base game, and what an experience, man. Shout out to Raw. Thanks for showing me these masterpieces. Thanks to you, I got into the series. No problem, man. I'm glad that you're able to get into the series. So now on to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country. Did you play that, or on to Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Got everything from all 4 Xenos to Crisis Core, even ARMS, and Cereza. Nice. Hey guys, RPG85 here. Yeah, RPG85. Let's go. Oh man, we out here tonight, man. But we actually hit 202, so you guys know what that means. That's the double platinum. Double platinum Monday. Oh, let's go! Shout outs, guys. I appreciate that. Of course, we are stocking them up, and we are getting ready because the Switch 2 is coming out, and we're gonna have so many awesome lit community nights and streams. It is going to be incredible. I cannot wait. I cannot wait, man. It's going to be so good. Big love. Shout out to Chartard, Beat Queen, everybody that helped us get to that double platinum as well. You ever played, you played any more of Atelier Yumiya? I have not had any time to play any more Atelier Yumiya. I'm also waiting for some patches for that game as well on PS5. So I'll wait for some patches. Assassin's Creed Shadows, same thing, wait for some patches. But right now, I am locked in, loaded, ready to go. The best game released this past week or so, the best game released in March was Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. It is the best game out of all of them, which is crazy because it's a Wii U game. But, I mean, it's a Wii U game that's made even better. That's the best game, bro. It is addictive. Although Atelier Yumiya is really good. Atelier Yumiya is really good. But both of those games are interesting because they both have base builders with Atelier Yumiya. And Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I wouldn't say they're bad, but they're just kind of like, I don't feel like doing them. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles X has like a base builder, but it's like nowhere near as in depth, but it's just like super quick. It's so much faster. So I'm a Xeno X person, man. I've been playing Xeno X. Like, that's the game, bro. That's the game. I want to finish up Xenoblade Chronicles 3 before I jump into X. I mean, yeah, you can play it at any time, but yeah, finish Xeno 3 and then get into X. But yeah, that's why I try to finish the Xeno games, not as fast as I can, but I don't try to let them linger. I try to, get them done just because, they're a time commitment, they're a time commitment. So the Bleach game sinks the studio under based on the launch window. So the Bleach game sinks The studio under? I'm not sure. I don't know who even makes the Bleach game. Let me see. Who makes this Bleach game? It is made by I don't know who makes the Bleach game. It doesn't say on the back here. Maybe somebody, or maybe I can look it up online. But yeah, I have the Bleach game, Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I don't know who makes it though. I don't know. I didn't see any news on that. So yeah. It just came out at a bad. Oh, do you mean syncs as in like based off of all the different games that were coming out, so nobody's buying it or nobody's playing it? Let's check Metacritic to see if there's any other reviews for the Bleach game. We'll do that before we go, guys. Metacritic, Bleach, Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Okay, yeah, we've got some more reviews coming in. Now there's 4 reviews, and the score went down. The user rating's good, 8.3, but the critical average, there's 4 reviews on PS5. It's a 68 average. So yeah, 68 average. Charge up with another $5 dono. Tamsoft. I have no idea who Tamsoft is, Kai Cocoon. Thank you for that, letting us know about that. Tom Warren is a wannabe gatekeeper. He tried checking Tom from MLID on reporting a story that Xbox was going to work with Intel on the next Xbox. I did not know about that. I don't know who that other guy is. Tom tried checking. There's 2 Toms. Are you sure you didn't check him because he thought he was the real Tom? Will the real Tom please stand up? Will the real Tom please stand up? We're going to have a problem here, right? Is that what happened? No, I don't know. I'm going to check out this Bleach game, though. I'm going to definitely check out this Bleach game. We'll see how it works. I remember one time, bro, let me tell you guys what happened with Naruto, the Naruto game that came out for the Switch or a couple years ago, 2023. Bro, I was playing online. I played online and I ran out of chakra, and I was just getting bodied. I just turned it off. It was just I wasn't even a rage quit. It was just whatever. I'm never playing this game again. I turned into I did substitution jutsu like 3 times in a row. Ran out of chakra. This dude caught me and just waited. And it was kind of laggy too. It was also kind of laggy. Bro, I just quit the game. No, not Shinobi Strikers. It was the game that came out in 2023, the Naruto game. It was what was it? Naruto. It was like a remaster, kind of like remaster re-release. Naruto Shippuden. Switch game. What game was that? Naruto Shippuden. Oh god, the game that just came out. Dude, there's so many games. Was it Naruto? God, which one? I forgot which one it was. There's so many I forgot, bro. What's the one that came out back in 2023? Was it 2023. Okay, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Naruto Cross Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. That game. That's the game that I'm talking about. That game. Yeah, yeah, it was a silent crash out. A little bit of I didn't even really silent crash out, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I swear I'm never playing it. Well, I might play a Naruto game. I might play for some clout, like if it comes to Switch 2. Yeah, we doing that for some clout. But outside of that, I'm never playing it again, bro. Outside of that, we never playing it again. I'm done. And I'm done with this stream as well. Yo, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I do appreciate it. My boy's kind of going nuts, so I'm going to go tend to him. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let them know that we are let them know that we are streaming here and you can watch awesome content. That's what I meant to say. Hit that like button on the way out. And check out my most recent video. If you have not seen my most recent video, watch it. It's up right now at this point. So you guys can go watch it. I'm going to go tend to this boy who's going in the background. So thank you guys so much for coming out. Big love to Bead Queen, Charizard, Zach Riley. Thank you for the manual. Kai Cocoon, thank you for the follow. Vice, Nady Nay, Bead Queen once again. Big 150 dono. Bead Queen out here doing the combo breaks. And the Appreciate you guys so much, Bead Queen. Thank you for your continued support. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'd say I'm going to do my best to continue doing as much as I can, so you guys feel like your support actually is going towards something awesome. So I'm going to try even harder tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, guys, with more content, more streaming, more games, and more awesomeness. Love you guys so much, and all the elite ninjas here, all the ninjas and elite ninjas here that were hanging out for the stream for 3 hours plus, or however, whenever you got in here. I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you so much. Love y'all so much, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace out.